Hey y'all, happy Thursday. Another Thursday of Ooh Ladies First panel. Y'all already know what to do when you walk into the room. When you walk into the room, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ooh Ladies First. You can follow Bondi Blue, Jamie, that's me, and of course you can follow me, Necey Dixon, okay? Hope y'all are doing good. But let's go ahead and get the show started. Hey,
What's up? What's up?
how y'all doing?
Girl, I'm good over here telling everybody on Instagram to come over to Necey's channel,
Yes.
first panel, because we get into some things, okay?
Yep. You know,
Hey,
low key, I was like, man, I wish that I could go live on TikTok because I got the feature and never ever use it. While I do this, but I be using the notes on my phone. And I'm like, would it hit the same? No graphics on TikTok either. And then like they'd have to see all of us. That would just be weird. I was really trying to think about it.
They need to do better.
They
They need to
do.
do better.
So, what's y'all drinking? Y'all know the rundown.
I'm
well,
drinking this disgusting rosé,
oh
and they
wow,
have the
Disgusting.
audacity.
that is sad.
They say
Is it
it's
sparkling?
rosé with aromas of raspberry and watermelon.
That sounds good.
But it's
Girl, it's
Oh.
giving flat.
mm,
Yeah, the I don't like that. I had that brand before in the soft box. I ain't like that kind. It's one in a can that is fire. It's like
Is it?
$10, and I was gone off like that can. I forgot the name. It's called like white something.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm gonna
have
have
to
to look
find it
for
and
it.
send it to you. Yeah.
excuse me, I'm sorry. That's better. That is unfortunate. I have Old Faithful. This is Black Girl Magic Red Blend.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's my fave.
that's what. And
That's my fave.
I went looking for that one, and they had no black girl magic, but that's because I went in Tarjay. I should have went to the actual wine store.
Target usually always have black girl magic.
Girl, they was sold out this time.
That's
None on
why
the shelf.
Mm.
the sales get out. I ain't gonna lie. There was one lonely bottle of the red blend, and I was really looking for the Three Finger Jack, which is a really really good cab.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm, I'm sorry, I don't
Well,
love the experience.
I'm under the weather today, so I'm drinking some hot lemon water.
Hot
Um,
lemon.
some hot lemon water and some black pepper.
Hmm.
That's usually what I like to do. That spice be clearing your throat up. I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I never
but
heard of the black pepper. I always thought like, what is it, cayenne pepper?
yeah, I'll do that sometimes too. And turmeric.
Yeah.
Oh shit, hold on.
I got a
Lemon,
black lady
turmeric,
witch
and
that makes,
cayenne.
and I
You
get
said
tea.
what, Bonnie?
Yup.
I gotta I get my tea. Currently, I'm getting my tea from this black lady witch. I hate saying it like that, but that's how I met her. It was the tea room. She had this little spot called a tea room. And you go and get your tarot read and all of this shit. And I went and got like a fire ass reading from her, which
Hmm.
coincided with my therapy and shit that I was going through at the time. It
Oh
was really
wow.
full circle.
Yeah.
But she makes liquids that she makes herself. And so she would make them cold when you go in and you can get like a cup of it, and that's how we got caught up. It's called
Mm.
water, and it has like a lavender flavor, but it's like sweet, and she adds like lemonade in it. It's like
Oh
some
yeah.
it's real good.
It
So
sounds
literally
like it.
with it, and so I get a whole bunch of like different teas for different things, and
Yeah.
some of them is the throat thing because I'm often talking.
Mm.
Nice.
Gotta get it
That
together.
sounds so good. Some lavender tea.
Right. Lemonade.
Queenly Conjure. I think it's her.
Instagram.
Oh, okay. When you say queenly, I thought you was gonna talk about Queen Elizabeth. Um,
Good night.
um, not laughing at the lady death, but I feel like everybody talking about it, so I just wanted to say her name. May she rest. Now, I want to ask y'all a question, and the sound is a little bit weird. I don't know why. It's a slight echo,
Okay.
but anyway, I wanted to ask y'all a question. So I feel like majority of the time these conversations be starting out with like, I was on TikTok, and that's how it went down. So I was on TikTok. No, actually I was on Instagram, but Instagram like the bootleg TikTok. I saw a video and I was triggered by this. So I'm about to play it. It's like 12 seconds. It's like, it ain't even that deep, but I was triggered. So let's look at it. Okay. So the comment said, when you said you were 5 minutes away 30 minutes ago, and you hear her phone blowing up. And I was like, oh, I can't stand people who be late. And it took me back to a time, and it made me think specifically about this.
I was just about to leave. You're an hour late. Oh, glad you could stay. That's yet to be determined. Portia invites me for a little sit down, and then the heifer came in an hour late in a cheap blue jumpsuit. Well, if you weren't late, you can... Well, whatever. You're late. I'm not late. I'm here waiting for you. You invited me. Usually the proper thing is to say, oh, I apologize for being late.
Okay, well, you're very nasty. First of all, I haven't even sat down.
Okay, well, now you're sitting down, so...
Y'all, I hated Cynthia this season, but I also, now that I'm thinking about it years later, like I have felt that way when people show up late. So I wanted to ask y'all, like, what's the protocol for people running late? What's the protocol? Do you need a 15-minute, is it a 15-minute grace period? Do you need ETAs, accurate ETAs? What is it for y'all?
I don't know. I be needing constant updating. Like, I feel like, I may not go. I may just wait on you, girl. I'm cool with sitting in my car waiting. But don't keep me waiting too long. Like, if you're probably like 30 minutes, it's like I'm pressed, especially if I haven't heard from you. But what I've gotten in the habit of doing is hitting my people up, like, where you at? Oh, I'm about to leave in 15 minutes. Oh, I'm not leaving my house till you say I'm on the road. Like, when you say en route, I'm en route too. I've learned to do that. But before then, I had a good friend like that. Miss Mamas was late 4 hours to her own wedding. Okay. So
you said 4 hours?
On God.
Yeah, she
4
must have
hours
had
late.
the daily rate on the venue, because these venues don't be playing about the
Hear
starting
me.
end time no more. What?
Hear me. It was a whole 4 hours late. Do you hear? I'm not even capping. I'm not stretching. That's what it was. And one time I was supposed to meet her in the city, and I could have sworn I was hanging out with some other people. She was supposed to meet us there. I think I was hanging out with them for 3 hours. Whole time I'm thinking she on her way, and she wasn't. Very inconsiderate of time. Extremely inconsiderate. Like, no. But now, she was the only friend that I had that was inconsiderate like that. But everybody else, girl, yes and no. She my line sister, so whatever.
Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah, so I mean we talk, but not really. But anyway, yeah, girl. Now I just be like, hey, where you at? You on the way? Leaving at 15? I bet I'm gonna leave when you leave. I don't have time.
That's me. But also I'm an impatient person when it comes to stuff like that. Like, most people don't keep me waiting because, like that's just I don't fuck with people like that. So you're not gonna keep me waiting like that. I'm gonna just say it like that. But I have given a person time, like probably 30 minutes, and then I called and I was like, so you still haven't left? Okay, so now I'm leaving. Like that type of thing. And the only reason I gave them that long is because I was driving around. And when I realized how long it had been, that's when I called again, like, what the fuck is hood? And so then I went ahead and went home. So beyond that, like, I don't think anybody has ever had me waiting more than like 15 minutes. And I'm the type of person, I hate being late. So if I am gonna be late, I'm gonna tell you, hey, I'm like 10 minutes away. Like, I'm out of the, I'm gonna let you know. Unless you're somebody who I think don't respect time, like some of my family members. And if that's the case, then it depends on the situation. because like one time somebody had us waiting like an hour, but it was like a surprise party. So it was kind of
okay.
it's a surprise party. I was gonna be here anyway, so
Yeah.
that's not a big deal. But I'm girl, I'll leave. So I don't even want to be here that long. Like like I'm a quick
No.
leaver. So
Yes,
don't play with
I
me.
got things to do.
What?
That's where I'm at with it. So I used to get upset. So like I had one friend where I showed up and waited like 30 minutes. So with her, I started telling her that I would book something like 45 minutes before it was actually booked. Like I lied to her consistently about the time. But I have to do that because I also live in the boonies. I live in the suburbs. So anytime I go to Dallas, I always have to leave early anyway. But like Vonnie said, because of that, because I already want to go get a drink, I'm comfortable with having my whole meal. And when you show up and my check comes, it's nice seeing you for 15 minutes, but I'm about to go. So yeah, I never overextend my time because you decided to show up 30, 45 minutes late. And we can't be sitting in nobody's restaurant for 4 hours. But a lot of people are like, oh, this is me. And I gotta say, do better. We too grown for that.
Please do better. Please do better. And don't be
better.
using your kids as an excuse all the time. Like, just do better.
It be people who don't even have kids who do that. That's the thing. I'm like, what?
That's the
And
sad
like
part.
said, Jamie, you mentioned one friend. I had one friend where she was like, oh yeah, I'll meet y'all when y'all go out. Why the fuck? Like, luckily we were already going out, but you give no ETA and then the whole night is passed and we don't hear from you. I was like, yeah, I'm done fucking with you. I stopped making plans. Stop making plans.
No more invites.
No more. I don't like my time to be wasted like Cynthia didn't like hers to be wasted, but Cynthia was on some shit that season. Couldn't stand her ass.
The outfit was even like annoying to me. Like, why are you overly preppy? Like,
she was dressed like a painter. She was giving little fires everywhere. She needs to be painted somewhere.
Girl, the hat, not the beret. All right.
Yeah. I think that was the same season that she kicked Portia, and I really think Peter was like really gassing her up that season. Like, don't let these bitches talk to you like that. But then she also was going through shit with Peter, and I guess she just really wanted to reinvent herself that season, but it wasn't.
It was entertaining. But Portia
it was
kicked in the puss. Sorry.
I was so mad at that.
I couldn't stand Portia for a long time. Like, honestly, I didn't start liking Portia until Portia did the play with Candy. That was probably around the time. Yeah, because that was after Cordell. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was around the time where I thought she was like branching out, trying to do something different, which I always appreciate. You know what I'm saying? But it was always lightweight. It wasn't ever heavy like. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, ditzy, the ditzy one. And then kind of like over time, as time has gone on, I grew to like her more because I feel like she had a real I don't give a fuck attitude, which was hilarious to me. But like as of recent, like her going back to Real Housewives, I'm like, I don't really care.
It's interesting. It's interesting to see the different Portia. When she first came on the show, how timid she was and wanting to make sure that she made her man feel good and this and that. No, I'm not going to go to the strip club because of this and that. And then now she a whole different Portia.
Fucking strippers. Legs and
a cheeky
body.
Get them, girls. All right. So, y'all, we had that little intro conversation. Now it's time to get into the TV. And if y'all are like, hold on, I want to talk about Real Housewives some more, keep watching because we're going to talk about Real Housewives in the gossip section. But let's go ahead and get into it. All right, y'all. So we're going to stop talk about Ready to Love. This is a show that I'm not reviewing this season. It wasn't giving, y'all, honestly, y'all don't think I sound crazy. But when I saw the girl with the flower piece in her head in the first episode, I was like, I'm not feeling this shit. When I saw the dudes in the white linen with the ankle shot, I was like, I'm not feeling this shit. I can't do it. So I still watched the show, but I don't be taking notes. This is for leisure. But the flower head girl went home this week, y'all.
I'm sorry.
The flower hair girl went home. I know her
Damn.
name. Her name is Shakira, but I'm like, I don't get it. She is giving very much. It's an attachment. You got flowers on glued to all your ponytail holders. I just can't.
I hated it. Like honestly, when I saw she was doing it with every look, even her bun,
Yes.
I said, "Bitch, not with the bun, with the bun too."
Yeah, like give it up.
Somebody on Twitter told her, Shakira, baby, you don't have to wear every accessory in the box. Like that, I can't get
No.
over.
It's giving. You know when you order them wigs from the Asian vendors and they be like free gift and they send you
Yes.
reply, she's wearing free gift.
She's
Oh,
definitely
baby.
wearing free gift. That is sad.
Jeez.
Oh gosh.
It
So
can make
I
you
do think
happy,
it was her
though.
time though.
It was absolutely her
Absolutely.
time.
She needed to
Absolutely.
go. She just wasn't. For me, I just was tired of hearing about the quote unquote trauma
Me too.
and not really knowing what happened. And that's always her way of trying to connect with guys. I didn't like that. Like even having a conversation with Swayze, she brought up the fact that, I left that party and I just cried my eyes out and da 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 da
Yes,
da.
girl.
And it's like, are you seeking sympathy in this? Like, what are you doing
Attention.
in this moment? This is an opportunity to really get to know him and stuff, but you over here wanting to talk about something that happened the other day you over here crying about,
But
and
you
you probably
know,
already told a series of people about it already.
her personality type honestly would be a perfect victim because it seems like her tactic to, and I know like bait men is gonna sound bad, but I feel like I'm gonna say bait men. I can't think of a better word, but her
Mhm.
That's
tactic to
fine.
get men is to be like a damsel in distress. And if you want a man who's gonna want to come save you and do all this stuff and just want you to be all fragile, like you would be a perfect victim because it's easy to manipulate people like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can
I,
see her in that type of relationship.
I absolutely felt like her persona on the show is a reaction to whatever she went through. Like trying to get sympathy out of everybody and trying to be coddled by everybody because you probably
Mm-hmm.
were treated so badly that now that you can get that type of reaction out of people, it probably feels really good in comparison
Mm-hmm.
to what you went through. So
Mm-hmm.
now you're doing it all the time and you probably don't even realize when you're doing it as a manipulation versus having a genuine
Ooh.
emotional reaction to something that was triggering. You know what I'm saying? So even though I feel bad for whatever she has been through, there is a portion of me that feels like Kadeen felt. This is not the environment for you to express something in secrecy. It's a
Yes.
TV show. And not only is it a TV show, but you talked about it with the men and the women, and then you used it as a tool to make the women an adversary, which is so fucking weird to me, as if the men weren't talking about your
Yes.
situation too. That's how they came to the conclusion it was time for you to go.
Yup. Bundy, you were so right. When I was watching and Kadeem was going off like, bitch, we not gonna do that. I was like, ooh, is she like I done missed a few episodes, but for the most part I've been watching. And I'm like, did she do something wrong? But it absolutely was weird to me because she did make all the women an adversary for talking about the things that she used to be more appealing to the men on the show.
All right.
That's real weird.
Mm-hmm. Very weird. Just
The
like that
other
flower.
thing, it is the other thing I wanted to talk to y'all about was Jamala and Randall, and Jamala like lightweight pushing this olive juice love you thing on him.
Oh, girl, that
Um,
was embarrassing.
So
So
embarrassing.
embarrassing. God,
Why was
yeah,
that? And then it was
building
okay, it's
chalkboard.
one thing to say you want to name the candle that, but to follow the question up and ask this man how he feel, if he feels like he's fallen, I'm just like, he don't even know you. Y'all haven't even, what, this was like the 6th episode? This is
Girl,
probably
yeah,
2 weeks in. I was just so bothered like
disappointed.
that.
Mm-mm-mm.
I don't even know
yeah.
if I could say it was like pick me. I feel like it was a different level.
Oh, it was pick. It was giving pick me.
You don't think it was a little
It was
beyond
giving. Do you
that?
like me? Check yes or no.
It's essentially choose, pick me. Like
Yeah.
essentially, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it was given, but not in the harm another woman for it to happen way. Like she's not doing that, and in some
Extreme
of these women,
desperate.
yes, it's not. It's
That's
yeah, it is giving desperate. It's not giving pick me as much. But yes, she's probably a pick me, but it's not giving that in this moment. But there are a lot of pick me's on here because Kadeen is a pick me as well. She's very, that's weird because it's like they have these aggressive personalities, but then are still like, I want to be weak for a man. And then they argue or fight with the women or have this very like, I don't like this season of women and the way they relate to each other. I think last season or the season before, I can't remember, but there was a season where the women actually kind of had like a mutual respect for one another, so they would not do too much,
I feel like that was
season,
when Sabrina and them was on there.
Probably no.
Because it was with Liz and them. Liz
and Jason and Kia.
Yeah, that was a keep it cute season.
Yeah. I'm good on another season of Miami. Yeah.
Hold up, they doing another one in Miami?
No, they ain't announced it, but I wouldn't be surprised because they be doing them back to back like that.
That's true, and it seemed like they're doing 2 in each city, so they might do another one in my. I don't know if it's the editing, but y'all, this is not it. This ain't it. It's so many. I get so many comments talking about how not good this season is. It's sad. I wonder what the ratings are though.
I know, that's what I was thinking. They need to change locations probably. Yeah. Or either cast different people. I thought it would be different because this cast of people was a little older. So I thought they would be more mature.
Did anybody feel like Nephew Tommy coming to the front saying, let's be real, let's have real conversations, we need to talk about it? Now, it was given to me, y'all don't have enough drama or something. So y'all needed to have that moment for y'all to pull stuff out of each other.
You are so right. Because I ain't never seen that happen like that before.
Me either.
And
then the weird thing about it was after everybody got it out, there was no resolve. It was, let's just throw shit out there and then, all right, let's move on. All right, everybody got it off? Yeah, all right. There was no resolve. And I feel like also the way they chop it up. And then when they did it, the part that confused the out of me was the part where Mike makes Kayla stand up and look him in the eye while she tells him she feels like he wants her to do more work than he wants to do.
Yep.
That was weird.
Ew. Y'all, okay. Did y'all feel some type of way when this man took her on a date and said, I want to put my lips where they lips been?
Yeah.
I missed that part. That's what Mike said to Kayla?
That's what Mike said to Kayla. I was like, really?
He said she kind of out there because she's already kissed 2 dudes.
But did he also say that she was too young?
He did say that. He said he didn't younger than what he preferred. Yeah, that's what he said.
But then now you're trying to put your lips all on her?
Yeah.
He was giving creep vibes as I'm reflecting. Because Kayla was really like, okay, I'll call you later type. Like, when a dude like on you too much and it's like, can you fall back just a little bit? She's not interested in him. Brandy, you can have that man back because nobody want that man, girl, but you. Okay. He's not that guy.
Well, he did say she was video vixen vibe, so that would explain.
Which was so weird. Like, why would you say that about her?
I know, that's what I was thinking too.
Like, she's not the only woman on the show. She's not the only woman on the show with some ass. So that was just rather perplexing.
Right. But Brandy would have been very offended.
That man had on a red wife beater, red jeans, and red shoes with the dyed black beard. What?
The dyed black beard is the worst part of it all for me. Every time I see it, I'm just like, sir, this is so unfortunate that you did this.
Necey was giving us a starter pack, but I cannot attach the starter pack. But it sounds like a starter pack.
It is.
I think it is. What do you mean? I don't know if it's an
Yes, it's giving insecure
or
nigga.
raggedy
It's
ass,
It's
like
raggedy. It's
broken,
giving. He
like
got a
it's
pair of black
dusty.
forces.
ooh,
Ugh,
baby.
Mm-hmm.
severe,
No.
severe.
But that's it for Ready to Love. Anything else? Y'all excited for next week?
What's next week?
I don't know. I
Oh,
just said that because I feel like y'all not gonna be excited for next week.
I mean, well, Kate, they gonna try to give some. I think KD ain't gonna get into it with Swayze because Swayze said he ain't like black women or something.
Yeah,
So she
I
gonna
am
bring that to the
interested.
forefront.
I'm interested in that one. Yeah.
Swayze said he didn't like black women.
That's
He
what
he's never
KD.
dated.
That's what
He's
she's saying.
never dated a black woman before.
Oh, so his kids are not fully black.
Probably not.
Yeah, his
The
daughter.
ones he keep
She
talking
got
about.
mixed. Yeah.
Interesting. Huh. I guess.
Ain't it interesting too? Well, we gonna see.
Right. Y'all can keep them. Let's move on. Oh my gosh, we go from talking about one raggedy ass nigga to another raggedy ass one.
Listen, you know when you said y'all can keep them, that made me think about Bill Collective when Keisha husband caught that fish, and it's like you got to throw it back in. That's when you just said that you can keep them. Yeah, throw that one back.
Catch
Throw
and
that fish
return.
back.
Catch and release.
Catch
We're not
and
gonna take that one home.
We don't want it.
Couple things that we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about Damon denying the emotional connection, but mainly I feel like every time a scene like that happens, I always question the other party. It's not like, oh, Damon ain't shit. It's more so like, Tambra, what's wrong with you? Because she was very much giving, I'm a ride for mines, and I already told her you don't talk to her, right? Y'all think Damon got this emotional connection?
I think I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say Damon friendly is the same thing Tisha sat up there and told Glenn. She said, you too mother friendly. I feel like the same thing. Damon admitted to being friendly as hell. So because of that, and me looking at Glenn and Tisha, and Glenn and got himself caught the hell up, makes me think that there is a possibility that Damon could have misled this woman and could have possibly had an emotional connection with this lady. It's possible.
So you think it's possible that the girl is misconstruing things?
I think it's possible that she not. I don't know. I feel like she's not 100% lying. He may feel like he wasn't giving her that to go off on, but I feel like you was giving her enough to go off on, so she could, because you were friendly as NIGGA.
Yes.
So you could have been doing just that. What you doing being too friendly with her anyway when you got somebody?
Right.
And Tisha, not Tisha, but Tambra feeling like because she reads messages and he's had old girl on speakerphone, that's enough. It's like you read what he wanted you to read.
Right.
You heard what he wanted you to hear. It doesn't mean that it don't exist. I feel like it's very possible that she may have a connection with him and he might not have one with her, but I feel like he likely participated in something for this woman to create a connection with him because he's friendly.
It's funny to me that you almost said Tisha. And I know the reason why you almost said Tisha is because every time we talk about a woman in this type of situation with her clown mask on, we usually talking about a Tisha.
I know, right?
This time
That
we're
is
talking
so
about
funny.
a Tambra.
Damn, Tisha.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so wait, which one were we talking about? Letitia or Tambra?
Tambra.
Damon. At the beginning.
Damon.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Got him. As soon as you said Glenn, I was like, wait. Damon. I think Damon fucked that lady. Absolutely, and without a doubt. It was because of the way he reacted. If you ain't fucked that lady, why are you getting offended at being asked the question? You could just simply say, nah, it was never nothing like that. I don't know where she got that shit from. It's weird. But people like attention. You could have kept it cute. But the fact that you actually got upset about it, like, it makes me feel like, yeah, no, it's a thing. And Tambra, I think Tambra is being delusional. And I think that's what Letitia is kind of pointing out without pointing it out. Because it's like, girl.
When she said you lying. That's
it
what
wasn't
she's talking about.
I mean, to me, I feel like, girl, you wasn't never really in a relationship with this nigga. Is how everybody probably feel.
Right.
Like,
That's the way
That
I'm
is
looking at it.
true.
Tamra
Like,
just
Girl, you
what?
randomly
said
ended
that,
up.
Bondi, about him possibly smashing her and him getting upset. Now I'm looking at when he did that, like he didn't want to answer it because he probably thinking, oh, that's old news. That's
Yeah,
all. Like,
Probably.
yeah, we did that, but that's
Yeah,
I'm with
whatever.
Tambra now.
he
Oh, girl.
answered her
Yes.
question with a question. He
Yes.
said, "Why would I do that?" Well, that's not what she asked you.
Exactly. That's why I was just kind of like, yeah, you did that shit, nigga. And Tamra know
Yeah.
you probably did that shit, but she's gonna stick beside him because see, that's the thing for the smart girls to do. And I'm getting sad about it because it makes me feel like, you know how you feel like when the girls didn't go for dudes at the beginning of their, as soon as they get out of high school, they jumping on somebody. They know they're gonna go get their career. And so you think those women grow to have a certain amount of like self-respect, and then you
Right.
realize, no, you really have been thirsty for a nigga this whole time, and you finally get one, and now you're acting like if I don't hold on to this ain't shit nigga, I'm running out of time to be able to get one. And I feel like that's sad to me because what you should have learned is these niggas come and go. Make sure make sure you good above all, but don't be out here looking like a fool over no nigga that you wasn't never really with like that.
I feel like it's always the girls
Right.
that are like career driven or book smart who be with the dumbest dudes ever, like always. But I was saying in my review, I can't trust nobody. Like if I was Tisha, I know it's a TV show, but I probably wouldn't have said nothing to Tambra because I feel like you barely with the man anyway. If you've been with him, boyfriend, girlfriend for 15 years, you ain't been his girlfriend the whole time. So I wouldn't have said shit to you. Wouldn't have said nothing because this is probably just what goes on. Tragic.
Interesting.
So next, another unfortunate situation, and I feel like this ties into what Bonnie was saying about women who can have a lot going for themselves, but they stick with the same dude. Letitia, Glenn is following Letitia around town to see where she's going. Red flag in his Dodge Charger. Red flag. I don't trust no man with a nose piercing, cartilage piercing. A man who drive a Mustang challenge Dodge Charger.
That's why. Look, that's why
Barely
they
trust him
coming
in
to an end. What, ain't they about to stop making them cars? Cause of
Yep.
y'all.
As they should. As they should. When I see him pull up in the parking lot, I was like, you said what?
They're fuck nigga cars.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then the one that's like flip of a coin is like a Nissan Altima specifically.
I feel
If-
like
if you-
it's always their
Cause it ain't never even their car.
That's their lady car. Always
If it's a Nissan Altima, I'm like, I don't know. Now, them Dodges, get the fuck away from me right now. Not to say there's nothing wrong with the car, but I'm telling y'all, like, that is the fuckboy starter pack. But Glenn pulls up in his Dodge Charger with the black rims, the black trim, giving that steamboat money.
Right.
And he says that he's following Letitia to find out where she's going for protection. And she's like, what do you want? On top of that, we can go ahead and combine the mess that happened at the birthday party. At the birthday party, they was damn near trying to argue the whole time. And it was giving me they fight each other. She low-key wanted to argue, but didn't want to argue. She was like, you're not gonna make me look dumb. But the way that they both were like, they were posting up low-key. They were posting up and whispering in each other's ear. And I'm like, I don't really post up with nobody unless I want to put my hands on you. So what y'all really be getting into?
Did you see
Come on,
Tisha
Jenny.
hands though? Tisha hands looked like she was ready to swing on him. They
Yes.
definitely fight each other. Like, for sure, I refuse to believe anything different. They definitely be throwing them damn hands. And Glenn, I'm confused about you saying that you be like, when she called him out about having other people follow her, I'm confused about that part. Because don't y'all live close to Jackson, or don't you live in Jackson? Like, what you need other people following her for? Like, that's very much so sketchy. Like, I ain't like that. But as far as don't find each other, they definitely do that. And I also feel like it was messed up. You hit the nail on the head about the Tisha not wanting to argue, but wanting to argue because she walked over into his conversation when ain't nobody even talking to you. But
Yes.
more than anything, y'all just don't be thinking about the little baby at all, now do y'all? Y'all don't be thinking about little, what's his name, little Josh? Y'all just don't be
the
thinking
baby
about little
birthday
Josh.
party.
This is about Josiah. Y'all
Josiah.
pull it together for Josiah. Okay,
They look like they was gonna flip over that damn Spider-Man cake fighting. I could have just imagined it now.
They just don't care about the little bit. I'm like, girl, do you not know this boy in the other room? Y'all about to throw down in there?
They playing hood people games. That's all this is. This is hood people games. I'm gonna tell you what it is and why they're together right now. I'm about to break it down for you.
Come on.
Letitia is a hood chick. Glenn is a hood nigga. What happens when hood people grow up and have a little bit of book smart about them? The dude gets a job that takes him off on oil rigs and shit like that, a factory job, something that pay good, got good benefits. The girl who used to clean his money, Tasha St. Patrick, well, she gets her some business. Okay. She gets us some businesses. Okay. And she cleans up their image. And now we have two still very young-minded, toxic people going through the motions on national television. So here's the tea. Glenn has always probably been a cheater, always been somebody that dipped in and dipped out, probably had a bitch during when y'all was in high school he fucked with, then later on, he's always probably had women in and out, and you've probably had your slides in and out as well, but you were probably smarter about hiding them, okay? Because Glenn's ass is crazy, obviously. And I feel like right now, you probably ain't fucking with nobody because you don't even want the stress trouble because this nigga crazy. But ultimately, you like the fact that he chasing you around. You gonna act like you all upset, but it makes you feel like he cares so much. Because before, he wasn't stunning you when he was texting them other bitches and shit like that and aggravating the shit out of you. But now he chasing your ass around Jackson, Mississippi, and his charge are all upset because you all sexy and hot and he can't accept this new version of you. Girl, please, you like it. It's the hood auntie. You like the fact you gonna fuck him. Now that y'all done fought in front of baby and all of that, now y'all gonna go home and he gonna fuck you on, when you gonna send a baby to the grandmother house, he gonna fuck you as soon as you get through the front door. I bet you.
That's what she wanna do.
That's why they're together now. Because all he gonna fuck you real good. He gonna apologize, you gonna be mad, he gonna buy something, he gonna fuck you again. Like, and then eventually y'all gonna be back and now you're gonna be in the opening credits together. Like a cute little couple.
Yeah, he definitely was driving her car around after he dropped her off at work. He definitely was doing that. Oh gosh, I hate to see it. I think she posted that I'm gonna stick by his side Instagram post a little bit too early. Because I'm like, why? Why did you do I'm gonna stick by his side? And now we gotta see y'all argue again.
Scotty
so
in the comments. Hey Scotty. Scotty said, yeah,
what's up, Scotty?
Good toxic DICK.
I mean, I thought the same thing. I was like, he must got a gold silver, something going on. He not ugly.
It's not giving. I don't see it.
Pretty deep too. You don't think he cute?
No, I don't. I don't think he is. I don't think he packing nothing. I think that Tisha might just be digmatized. Like,
you can't be digmatized if the dick not doing nothing, though, can you?
You can if you haven't had enough dick in your life. And if you've been with this man for 17 years, you probably are attached to his damn hip.
I rebuke that in the name.
He a hoe. No, I'm gonna tell you why he good. I'm gonna tell you why. Because he ugly. That's why.
Did you just
he ugly. That's why he
is not ugly, y'all.
Ugly niggas. No, listen, Jamie, he's hood nigga cute, yes.
Thank you. He's definitely that's what it is.
Real life is ugly. And he knows he's ugly, which is why he gotta have good dick. He must have a ding-a-ling.
Go. I don't know, y'all.
Come on, y'all.
Something about the hood girls who think like, I feel like they steamboats is equivalent to truck drivers. So I think Tisha is convinced that like this is cream of the crop from where I'm from, and I don't know. I really don't know if she had enough pain.
No, she definitely hasn't had enough. She hasn't had enough because if she had enough, then I feel like at a certain point, women know that they can go and get some good dick anywhere, so they don't have to be wherever they are. And when you have that energy about yourself, you don't have to be screaming to a dirty nigga chasing you around the city about how he better respect. You ain't got to do all that because he already know. He acting crazy right now. Women who know better be having these niggas already in your mind. You better be worried.
Yeah.
Mm.
Chop, chop. Line up. Say so one more time.
Okay? You better be worried.
I just want Tisha to go and have some fun if she hasn't gotten enough.
I do want her to.
I want her
really
to.
do.
He's not gonna let her, but I hope that she can get away and get it in with a few people.
Out of state sex.
Right. One night
I'm
only
like,
from out of town.
Look,
now you driving 5 or 6 hours like they claim Mill Mama was doing. Go to
Oh, girl, that her mama. She don't say me.
I said like they claim. Didn't okay?
Yeah, like they claim. Yes, let's add the claim on there.
Okay. So y'all next Marie and Akeisha meet with the boys. Cool. Me and Mita. And I just think it's funny how Glenn and Letitia are talking about fixing their relationship, but we haven't gotten a confirmed DNA test. Are we just gonna move past
Right.
Everybody
what's going on?
Why is it taking so long? Right. And then he said everybody black. So that confirms to me that he saw this baby. Saw this baby, and this baby does look like him. And he's Uncle Chris. I feel like somebody said that in a Tyler Perry movie. That's his baby.
That's his baby. That's his baby. I'm gonna tell you how we know that's his baby. When it's always the nigga baby when they don't want to get the DNA test.
Because they already know.
It's gonna once they get the DNA test, they can't deny it anymore. So they like to keep prolonging and not getting the DNA test so that they don't have the proof because they know they are. They go and see the baby, they look at the baby, they know they was fucking that girl raw. And that's another thing that killed me. Like niggas act like they ain't do nothing wrong if there was no baby, but you fucking her raw. Oh, we just gonna forgive that.
Say it, Bonnie. That's the part for me though, because Tisha mama said to him that the cheating was a misdemeanor, but the baby was a federal offense. Felony.
Yeah.
And low key, no, the felony offense is out here raw dogging and then coming home to your wife.
Yes.
That is the federal offense. So that's why I'm like,
But what's confusing with what her mama said, she also said that it sounded like the baby wasn't even the main issue. It was everything he did after that. So I got a little confused of, did he get more felony charges, ma'am, or what?
He was still talking. I think because she said last season, Tisha said this. Letitia said last season when he proposed to her, he was talking to a girl that day.
Yeah, she said that.
He's still been talking to girls. They just don't have evidence that he fucked anybody because the only evidence they ever had that he fucked somebody was the baby. So because they ain't no baby, they gonna act like there's no evidence that he hasn't really still been cheating on her. But Glenn has been cheating on her the whole time. Glenn is the type of nigga that probably got a hood girl here and there that he go drive by that got a baby for him. He drops some money off. He drops some dick off. He gets his stroke and he go back to Letitia, who makes him feel like they're a power couple. There's definitely a Ariane, you know what I'm saying, type of dynamic with whatever bitch he with. It's just probably way worse. Because I used to hustle for real. You know what I'm saying?
His Ariane probably, I don't know.
I'm surprised she ain't come out, but I feel like she probably was seeing all the heat Miss A was getting, so maybe she don't want to say that yet.
Especially not for no fucking Glendale, girl. Hell no, he ain't even got that money for that.
She tried to make sure that he should get another season.
So you think Martell got more money than Glendale?
No, but I think Melody has more money than Glendale.
Good night. We know that.
I think that Martell at the beginning, because he had Mel's money.
Oh, and Barry. Well.
So lastly, y'all, the women meet up and Akeisha talks about not being invited to Marie's birthday party. And they get into this thing of like, no, I didn't say shady. I said she can throw shade. No, I didn't. And Tamara's trying to change this whole definition, and she the one who brought Akeisha around the ladies. So I wanted to ask y'all this. Did they ever show her calling the girl ugly?
No.
Because it's very much giving Tisha has some insecurities when it comes to Akeisha.
Mm-hmm.
And I said Akeisha can be an acquired taste, but Tisha took what Tambra said and like literally ran with it. Like, this is my opportunity, talking about she brought her a seat to the table and all this other stuff. And I think she's looking for that bad bitch boss up moment, like
Yeah.
services. Um, and this scene low-key made me like Akeisha a little bit more. So I wanted to ask y'all what y'all thought about the Akeisha shady versus shade.
I think Tambra was on some messy stuff. Like at the end of the day, I didn't like how she came at Akeisha at the end because I wanted her to have the same energy with Tisha, because Tisha told you to your face that you wasn't telling her the truth. Like, I can't help you if you lying, but you want to bring issue to Akeisha. As far as the shady comment, I feel like they one and the same. Like you saying, she could be shady or she throws shade. I feel like that's the same damn thing. And if you would mix up the words shady, throwing shade, then I also feel like you will misuse or misexplain how Akeisha may have used the word ugly if anything like that came about. I feel like Akeisha could have referenced like their attitudes or something, or how something was handled, but not so much as calling the ladies ugly, because ain't none of them ugly. And if she did do that, that's messed up, because they not. You know what I'm saying? Not a single woman on the cast is unattractive. So, you know, I just feel like Tambra was on some messy shit. And it's like, Tambra, I want you to focus on what your man got going on at home. I want you to go off on him like you try to go over there and go off on Miss Akeisha with your bullshit.
Home. Work on what you got going at home.
Right.
Goodness.
Because see, now I'm thinking about it, and I'm wondering, what was Tambra and Akeisha's relationship like in high school? Because
they went to high school together.
Yes, they were in the same pretty girl clique, which makes me wonder if Tambra may be sabotaging Akeisha's relationship with the other women because she doesn't see it for her, because of whatever their relationship was in high school. Because you can be friends with the pretty girl and still not like her if, you know, you feel like she's a mean girl, or everybody likes her, but you think it's in your best interest to be cool with her. You know, we've seen it. That's the dynamic of a lot of like mean girl cliques. And you
low-key hater.
These light complected heifers wasn't a part of some mean girl clique back then. Okay, you just not gonna tell me that, girl. I just believe
back then.
I believe it's full of other girls who was the same complexion as y'all. Okay. So there's a part of me that feels like Tambra could be lying and being messy and passive aggressive because of some shit between her and Akeisha that she's not telling us. But then I also feel like Akeisha could possibly have just been running her mouth thinking that she could trust Tambra, especially since it wasn't on camera. Because if it was on camera, they would have ran the tapes back. So it makes me feel like whatever she said to Tambra in confidence. And then, you know, Tambra being the messy radio bitch that she is,
she pulled to be a Thornton. She pretty much said what you was insinuating, but not what you directly said.
Hello. So yeah, that's gonna be a very interesting situation, because the way Tambra popped off, okay, you are, girl, I was just like, wait a minute. Like she was looking buck. And I was like, girl, what you did, Akeisha? Because Tambra is really upset. And normally Tambra, she really likes to back out of, you know, hectic situations.
She went off like one time.
Tambra is giving me misdirected. Like, I feel like the anger, the energy she's giving towards Akeisha is giving misdirected. And it's also weird because, I don't know, some part of me is giving, trying to please Tisha in some fashion. Like, trying to be affiliated in a different group. Did Tisha, because I feel like, you see how Tisha is in the front of this photo? Did Tisha bring this show about? Because she does seem like she's the forerunner of the girls. She's in charge of the girls. So that's what it's giving.
Season, they didn't say she brought the show about, but I feel like she did, because when they first introduced the show, you remember they all were coming together because of her, because of what she wanted to do. But that's where I also think that insecurity draws from, because if you brought all the girls together to bring back Ferris Street, but you ain't got no pools, and Akeisha got all the pools, it's like you really wanted to have that allyship with Akeisha, and ever since she was talking about your dirty plates, Akeisha, this is the thing with her too. Like Bonnie was talking about the pretty girl clique or whatever, she very much gives that energy. And I don't think that Akeisha likes to collaborate. I think that Akeisha enjoys having all of the credit for something. And that's what she came to this group to do, which is why she basically was shitting on Akeisha and was like, I mean, on Letitia, and said, you can have a whole lot of passion, but you're going to need some money behind that, being shady. So I think it's like a power pool that we keep seeing between Akeisha and Tisha, while Tambra is trying to remain loyal to Tisha because she finds that relationship to be more important for the show.
I definitely can see that with Akeisha feeling the need to like always kind of like be in charge or being the point person for stuff or whatever. She's a Leo. So I kind of can see that. Yeah. Like it kind of made me think of myself a little bit. So I'm like, I can see her like wanting to be that person, and also probably feeling like I deserve to be that person because of the connections that my family already has, you know, deep rooted already in Mississippi. So I mean, I can see that.
It makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because you was letting her off the hook early.
Say what?
You was letting her off the hook early, boy.
I was, but listen, but for real, I didn't find out she was a Leo and my soror until after I went up for her. I was like, I see why. I see the connection. I see.
Jamie, you a different type of Leo, though. I'm
on the cusp. I got a little Virgo.
That, and then it also has something to do with your moon and your rising. But then there's also like different facets where you can be like on the healthy spectrum or unhealthy spectrum. Oh, Scorpio.
You see how compatible me and Jamie are.
It's my moon.
And both of my sisters are Leos. And you know.
So
I get along with Gemini women.
Yep. I know. You said Scorpio, and then what else is there?
My rising is Virgo.
Oh, that's probably why. That's probably why. That makes perfect sense. That's why you are low, like you a Leo, but you are lower key with it. Because I'm a Scorpio. I mean, everybody know that we always talk about our signs on here. And I feel like that's what Scorpios, you know, you like mysterious, low key for the most part.
Listen,
so I feel like you got that coming through. Like, even though you do have the Leo tendencies, you still low key with it. So
I think I've calmed it down a lot.
My rising is, but y'all didn't say that.
What's your rising? I ain't even checked it. What you call it?
I'm about to look right
now. My
now.
rising is Capricorn. I'm a Scorpio, rising Capricorn. My moon is Pisces.
You're a rising Capricorn?
I'm weird like this. I have double sign. That's how you know I'm a very true Gemini to the bone. Because I'm Libra in rising and in moon.
Libra and rising and in moon.
Okay.
And I'm a Gemini in sun and Mercury. So my main sign and the way I communicate.
Y'all, we gotta go over the whole thing. I gotta show y'all my chart because
I'm looking at mine.
If y'all looking at my chart, like for half of the houses, it's like Scorpio, 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 Scorpio.
Yes. I'm a strong 3 Scorpio. For 3 of them, I'm a strong Scorpio.
Yes, damn, you are.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot y'all can see. We can see.
Yeah.
So I got Capricorn, Scorpio, Leo, and Mars and Pisces. So like in my chart is heavy in the areas that it's heavy in. I don't have like a whole lot of this and that.
I got a lot of
Capricorn in my chart. I don't like
Me too. I got Capricorn and Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune.
Mine and Neptune as well. I don't like them. My mama's Capricorn. I love her. My brother is too, but
I like her too. She all right.
Capricorns be funny.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, y'all. We went on the 10.
I know. Listen, sometimes we forget y'all here.
You said what?
Sometimes we forget they here. Because we just be in this
I'm
bitch.
telling y'all, we gotta have like. I want somebody to come on and read our.
Oh, that would be fun.
Somebody to come on and read our charts, like for real, and just talk about it, like read the charts.
Damn, Necey, you are deep in Scorpio.
That's why I got my Scorpion tattoo. I was like, yeah, this me. This me. I'm a ride. Scorpio, ride or die.
I'm only a Scorpio in Pluto, which
Oh yeah.
hold up. What does that do? What does Pluto do?
I think it's at the bottom.
Pluto.
Not to
It says
stay in
something.
your sign for 30 years.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
saw.
what it says. Stays in each sign for up to 30 years. It's in your 10th house. Oh, it's in my 10th house. Never mind. Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
Pluto was sexual too, but it's not.
You thought it was what?
Your Venus is your sex and love part, I think.
Yes. And that's some Scorpio for me.
I think I'm a
But
let me see for me because that's interesting. Okay, actually, I'm a Cancer in Venus.
Cancer and Venus.
Sorry,
Yes.
y'all. We on the
Oh,
co-star
isn't that
app.
like
I know they like, what the hell
yeah,
they looking at?
it's on the co-star app. Y'all watching the live show. This is what we really do. Like, don't y'all, we friends here. That's what I like to say when I break the show. Ain't we friends?
Right.
Let's
Come
talk.
in, friends. Have a seat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord. That just taps into my whole, people pleasing thing.
That's what I was gonna say. Venus is like how you love people, and you say your Venus is in Cancer, right?
I love people out of fear.
Yeah, mine is in Cancer as well.
Oh wow.
I'm Leo and Mercury, Mars, and Sun.
Leo and Mercury. I'm Leo and Mars.
Did you say damn? How
Huh?
I communicate, talk, think, process information. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah, Mercury is communication, and I'm a Gemini in that. So I know that's why I do this well.
They are so right on Mercury and Leo because
You do communicate
like that.
like a Leo.
Here, read it. I want to hear because we communicate every week. So tell me something about your Mercury thing. Because
so it says
Mercury
determines how you communicate, talk, think, and process information. It also indicates how you learn. It is the mind's planet. Your Mercury is in Leo, meaning your intellect is persuasive, idealistic, and bold. A natural leader, you speak articulately.
Oh my gosh!
And with confidence, you use creativity and warmth to win others' attention. Hilarious. You may come off as overbearing or conceited. Girl, I don't be conceited, girl. It's in your 11th house, meaning you are curious about and inclined to analyze your friends and how to make an impact on people in your political life. Girl,
wow,
that's you.
Day ain't never lied, girl. Y'all need to get on that app, honey.
That's you. Mine says my Mercury is in Scorpio, meaning your intellect is intense, serious, and obsessive. You have tendency to see things that others don't through your perceptive and insightful intuition.
Very true.
You don't take things lightly, and you like to get straight to the point, which can come off harsh, suspicious, or intrusive. You tend to communicate through your body language. It's in your 9th house, meaning you're curious about and inclined to analyze what you believe in, what and how to learn politics, philosophy, and your personal ethics.
And that was your Mercury?
Yeah.
In what?
Scorpio.
Yo, you read something in there about getting straight to the point. So what you want to do? You want to do it now, or what you trying to do? You trying to do it now?
At the airport, like Jamel, drop you over at the airport. For me,
you right.
Mine says Mercury determines how you communicate, talk, think, and process information. It also indicates how you learn. It is the mind's planning. Your Mercury is in Gemini, meaning your intellect is dynamic, quick-witted, and eclectic. You're deeply curious about everything, and your energy is often scattered in a million directions. The way you speak is articulate and witty, but you're likely to talk behind people's backs. It's in the house.
Or on YouTube, just on YouTube.
The funny part about it is I learned a long time ago. I'll talk about you behind your back, but I say it to your face too. Sometimes
period.
Right, match the same.
That's how my mama raised me.
Yeah, like I still whatever I say behind your back, trust and believe I say it to your face.
Say it to their face.
Sometimes I don't have the energy to argue with you, motherfucker. So I say what I say, but I won't argue with you about it. It's in your ninth house, meaning you are curious about and inclined to analyze what you believe in, what and how to learn, politics, philosophy, and your personal ethics. And yeah,
Mercury and what?
Gemini. We all have Mercury in our sun signs.
That was listen. Somebody
That's
said
so
app,
funny.
please. Yes, thank you
for the
so much,
super
T
chat.
Gaddis. That's the app.
Oh, okay. Born date is 1/5, Sun and Moon in Capricorn.
It's not start with a T. Yeah, that's right. Start.
It's
It's
just
that.
co-star. Yeah, this is too funny. I do be talking with my hands in my face. I feel like we all be talking with our face. Shit,
For sure.
like I cannot. Ooh, okay. Well, that was a cute little intermission, y'all.
It was.
Maybe we can make that like a special episode. For sure. But now that we done finished talking about Bell Collective, we done talked about astrology. We got 2 more shows, Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Atlanta finale. But before we get into that, I felt like we gave y'all something cute. So go ahead and like the video. All right, time to get into Married Medicine. So this episode was kind of lightweight to me, very lightweight actually. Episode starts out with I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to yell at you like that. No, you're right, Daddy, because I should have listened. And what I'm going through is no excuse. And y'all know we was talking about it in the group message. And I felt like it was a reenactment for like how to have a healthy argument. And I don't feel like real people argue that way. I don't know. Maybe once you get to 30 years of being married or so, you can start faking things until like you believe it and you get past the argument. But I can't do that. I get too passionate about things too. I'm sorry. You so right. So did that scene make y'all cringe? I know Heavenly on her YouTube channel said that they really do talk to each other like that. She said that that's actually Damon's personality, that he is very soft, but he's also very like strong. He has like a silent strength about him. So what y'all think about that reenactment?
I don't think she lying. I feel like that is how they talk to each other. Damon has never switched up, with that, from the beginning. I think that is how they talk to each other. Am I okay with it? It ain't my relationship, but it was getting a bit weird, girl. Like, why y'all talking to each other like that? I was like, is it because other people in the office on the other side, y'all got the door open? Like, what's really going on? I guess it's okay for Heavenly to think that she shouldn't have acted like that, because even though she got everything she got going on, she shouldn't be like that. I don't really have much to say about their scene for real. Like, I mean, you're gonna act the fool anyway, because that's just how you is. It don't matter who's on the table about to go. So
I think that people think just because someone does not yell that the things they say are always nice. And just because Damon doesn't raise his voice, it doesn't mean he doesn't say some weird ass shit. And if you don't, like somebody just said, Damon doesn't like confrontation. If you don't like confrontation, why do you make comments that start confrontations? Because I feel like in that scene at the dinner table, he may not have.
Bonnie, you were speaking to me. Can you ask that question one more time? If you don't like confrontation, what?
If you don't like confrontation, why are you having conversations or saying shit that start confrontations? So when Damon was at the table, I didn't think anything was really going on. Maybe Heavenly and Contessa were throwing jabs, but nothing was happening in that moment. And he just kind of started talking about the difference between men and women and how women, y'all go too far with y'all arguments, which honestly, everybody's sitting up there acting like that's not disrespectful as fuck. For you to sit at this table with these three grown-ass women and tell them as women they don't know how to control themselves in arguments, and men do. And that's y'all problem. He said it softly, but what he said was problematic as fuck, which is why Contessa and Simone was like, you must be talking about your wife, right? That's who you must be talking about, right? You can't be talking about us. And the truth of the matter is, he was talking about Heavenly. And Heavenly said on her YouTube channel, they had argued prior, which means you were passive aggressively coming at your wife in front of those people who you know had an issue with her, which to me meant you wanted them to kind of go at her on your behalf because you're soft-spoken. But why would you bring something up that would start and ignite an argument amongst them? And then everybody acts like what he did was nothing and he wasn't trying to start no argument. And it kills me because it reminds me how people really don't listen to what you say if you say it real soft.
Yes. Say it again. Say it again. I feel so connected to that because in all the times in my life where I have shown my ass, it's because people say stuff softly or they got me fucked up, but they say it in a way that's not aggressive. And if I respond in an aggressive manner, then I'm fucked up.
Right.
And I love that you pinpointed that because when they were at the house and he was walking to the car, he said, when I tell you to listen, you need to listen. And I was like, my goodness, he talking to her like that's his child.
And she said, I did listen.
She did.
That's why I didn't say nothing else or something like that.
He said, but you already made your decision. You had already made the decision. So for
he was definitely talking to her like a kid.
Yes. So for her to act like, oh, but that's how we talk to each other soft like that. Bullshit. You're going to do what we know you're going to do, which is protect your husband at all costs. And that's cool because that's what your generation of women have been trained up to do. But I ain't doing that shit.
But it's still kind of interesting, though. He was talking about his wife, right? Because she the one be causing the most ruckus. But it sounded like he was trying to get to a point of saying that's one of the reasons he doesn't open up to everybody about their marriage, because he knows women fight differently and they're gonna end up using the relationship, like what's going on in their relationship. So I'm still like a little bit confused. Like, why would you bring that up if your issue is primarily with your wife and how she handles stuff? I'm confused by that.
It was all aggressive, like I felt. That's what I felt.
It was, and it's like you don't bring up what's happening in your marriage to other people because women fight different, but it's your wife that they fighting because she be starting. Like that's why I'm still.
And then not even all the time that she starts, but to me, in that moment, he then made her do, and that's why. And I hate that he did that because it makes me feel like you're very smart. You know what the fuck you're doing, because he told her, "I know you feel like you have to do this, but don't," because he knew instinctually
he triggered her.
Would defend him. He knew she would defend him no matter what. So when he was having that back and forth, that was gonna make her.
Yeah.
Now she the bad guy. Now you can.
Because he know his fucking wife.
Yeah. And I feel like essentially, bless you. There's too much toxic rhetoric coming out of his mouth for me to believe that he's as docile and calm as you're trying to make him seem. And you and Buddy can do whatever y'all want to do over there. That's your relationship. That's your marriage. But I just think it's funny that he wants something you're not. You're not meek. You play a role, but that's not who you are instinctually or naturally. Heavenly is not docile. She's not meek. She's not a stay-at-home mom. She's not, waiting at the door with slippers and a drink for Damon because she's getting off work at the same fucking time.
Your shoestrings.
Your cufflinks. Okay? So that's why I'm just kind of like, it's very, whenever I see them, the way they sometimes interact, their narrative is very conflicting.
Huh. Yeah.
Interesting.
So Outside of that, we see Contessa and Scott, and Contessa wants to give Heavenly a pass because Quad let her know that Heavenly's mother is dying right now.
Right.
So, not
Dramatic as
laughing at
hell.
that situation, but laughing at the fact that Quad was bobbing her head like a bobblehead doll, hollering like, if I'm Heavenly, you don't need to explain that to nobody on my behalf, because in my mind, Contessa doesn't need to give Heavenly a pass. Now y'all are sisters. Like, I'm glad Scott called her out and was like, y'all not arguing like sisters. And it's very much given, this entire time I've been saying that Contessa is arguing with Heavenly on Scott's behalf. I more so think it's an internal conflict now.
Mm.
Now that Scott said that, I don't think that it's Scott wanting her to fight with Heavenly. I think the internal conflict is that you shared too much about your marriage. And you're trying to validate that anything Heavenly said on her YouTube channel did not come from you. And you're trying to prove that to your husband, even though it doesn't feel like your husband has required that from you. But because you know his personality, he's probably not said anything about it, but she feels like she has to do that to prove that she hadn't told too much of their business. So, y'all's thoughts on Contessa wanting to give Heavenly a pass?
Bullshit.
Um,
Something cute to say.
I mean, she probably tired of arguing right now because she don't want to be looking like the bad person in comparison, especially the way Quiet came at her. So I mean, I feel like she giving her a pass literally just for the moment, not forever. Contessa don't really have much of a storyline aside from going to Heavenly about some stuff that she brought to the show. So it's gonna continue to happen. But I do feel like maybe she should give her one. Like, that lady going through a lot, and she knows what that's like to lose your mom. So I guess give her a pass for the moment. But they're gonna be right back at it.
I feel like Contessa, first of all, is not happy, like, period, in her life. And so because she's not happy in her life, and you realize that you can't keep fighting your husband because you're unhappy. So now I think she is fighting fighting Heavenly, the next, closest person. And she's going to act like you wasn't that close, even though you was. She's going to ignore what's actually being said, which always shows me that a person is not thinking clearly in the argument because they're not actually, bless you, they're not actually listening to it. I saw you. They're not actually listening to what you're saying in the argument, because everybody keeps saying, and Heavenly has said this a million times, and Contessa has never responded. You shared those things with the public. You said your relationship, your interactions in your household were toxic. You said that on TV. You put it out there that Scott could possibly be cheating on you. You said those things. So, she never admits or acknowledges her part in what she's upset about, which makes me feel like you just want to be upset. And the way Contessa fights and argues using her children and all of that type of shit makes me feel like she'll fight to the death. So, no, I don't think her giving Heavenly a pass is true or genuine. I think it's something cute to say. I think you don't want to look bad to the public. You're a doctor. You know how you are being perceived, and you know that's still important to you to at some point take higher ground. So that's what you're going to do with Heavenly, so that you can make Heavenly seem like she's always the lowest of the low, when in actuality you can't roll around in dirt with pigs and claim you're not one.
Okay.
Come
Well,
on, Nani. Come on. Oink, oink.
well.
All right. So next, y'all, we see a bit of Anila's mom. I don't really care to talk about Anila's mom because we already talked about her last time, and it ain't nothing new there. But I wanted to talk about Toya crying in therapy, saying that she felt like Eugene is emotionally not there. I was glad to see her being real, but there's definitely a part of their relationship that's damaged. And I don't think it's all due to him it's not due to him being in the ER. It's due to finances, I feel like. And he's triggered because a lot of the things that people say on this show they hit home. And I feel like over time, and she said that something's changed, over time, he can come off as cold to you to try to protect himself from those things that other people have noticed as well. Um, I really hope we get a therapy session with Eugene and Toya together. But that was so sad when she said her kids were like, "Mommy, you're not even happy."
No, she not happy because Toya likes to live her life for other people instead of her damn self. That's why she be over there working that man to death or having him work to death to try and achieve all of these materialistic things to impress other people. Toya is, I hate to say it, but a real example of a person that ain't never had shit before. Um, and she's just working that man to death. I do think they were affected by the pandemic heavily, especially with him having to work and her having to be at the house with them kids, I'm sure, having to make sure they do their work on time and stuff that Toya's not used to doing. So I think that they both definitely went through their trial period. But I also think that he has been affected over the years from finances and having to switch it, change it, and do all of this stuff, to, I feel, meet the standard of what Toya want. Because I feel like a lot of this stuff Eugene could really care less for real. But during the pandemic is what kind of forced him to really sit down, I think, and just really evaluate a lot of stuff. And he just unhappy. Of course she's unhappy as well. But I think that the pandemic did have a lot to do with it, in addition to the shit that was happening before.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like Eugene likes to work, and everybody's going to act like Eugene's job isn't extremely taxing on anybody. And I think it may be more reasonable than people want to admit that Eugene likes working, and Eugene works himself to death because Eugene likes to be Captain Save-A-Ho at the ER. And there's nothing wrong with that, but doctors often have a God complex. And Eugene comes off as an insecure man, and it makes me feel like he feels amazingly strong and capable at that fucking hospital. That's where he likes to work. It's not really just about Toya working like that. It's that he wants to work like that. And I think everybody's acting like Toya brings absolutely nothing to the table. She does nothing, but she does more than some housewives do by bringing in this Bravo check. And on top of that, I'm sure there are other little things that she's able to make money for. That way she doesn't have to go to him for money. Their overall financial situation is not all on her because he's the person that makes the money. So at some point, he has to be responsible for that. If you're the one making all of the money like that, how is it that she's able to spend all of it and buy houses and shit that you don't want to buy? You want to keep up with the Joneses just as much as she does. And I think you rely on her being the bad guy in order to do that because you don't feel good about yourself, Eugene. And so I think that Toya has always been an arm piece. Toya does exactly what the fuck Eugene wants to do, which is sit and be pretty and spend money and be a taken care of wife that makes Eugene feel like a big, strong man, having his beautiful, voluptuous wife waiting at home to be fucked, okay, when he got the time and energy to do it. And I think, yes, he absolutely went through something during the pandemic, so did she. But I also feel like a lot of what they're talking about might be growing pains that marriages go through over time anyway. And this it impacted it harder, just like a lot of us, may have been doing okay. And then the pandemic hit and all of these other things have happened since, and it's made our health a little bit, less strong. Our immune systems and shit aren't as strong anymore. If you had COVID, all types of stuff aren't as strong anymore. So I feel like they just had a breaking point and now they're not like connecting. And I feel like she's being passive aggressive. Like she's probably still at home doing everything she's supposed to do for Eugene. But all of that show and shit, I think that's the truth inside of her speaking out, the shit that she can't say in their house.
I think those are good points.
Those are good
for sure.
points.
Yeah, I did it. It made me think about Toya could be just as unhappy with being on the show as he is being in the doctor's office all the time in the emergency, because that hit different when you were emergency doctor.
do.
So she bet, they both tied. Dang, that's gotta be tough though. Because I mean, they're older than us, trying to like refigure your life out at that particular time, for yourself as an individual, and then having to come together with your husband and then figure that out as well while you got to be parents to these kids. Like, that got to be, girl.
A
It's a lot for anybody. And I think people like
just thinking about that.
Woman, especially if the woman appears strong. People like to blame her for all of the issues that happen in the household. And it to me, it infantilizes the man. Now Eugene is some fucking weakling. This man that went through fucking medical school, became a doctor, and works his ass off ER every day is now incapable of controlling the household he lives in. I don't believe that. And I feel like people like to do that because it's convenient. It's very convenient to say, oh, Toya does this and Toya does, she don't work. Why the fuck should Toya have to work if she don't want to work and we can take care of her? That kills me that all of them women on that show look down on her for doing exactly what the fuck Toya was socialized to do. Find a man, a black man at that, to take care of her ass.
And you know what else? It makes me think that maybe that's what their relationship like started out as, and he took real good, pride in being able to do those things for her. And it makes me wonder if he may have felt like it became, because it was a standard that he set, an expectation over time where he felt like he was not being valued as much, which is why he does work so much being a people pleaser, because he finds value and he may, I guess, be praised in that aspect versus how he is at home.
There are
Damn,
times,
man.
like when we're watching like the show and these scenes where Toya's in the house, there aren't any moments where Toya is not interacting with her children or doing something in the kitchen, or like Toya's doing the shit in her house. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's handling her household.
Yeah, so, she don't even have a nanny like Anita.
Ooh, she don't. Y'all right.
I don't see anybody in their house but them two a lot of the times. And I'm just kind of like, so what do people think that Toya doesn't actually like handle her kids and her household? Like, my friends have kids that's like 8, 9, 10 years old, and teenagers. Man, that shit is a lot for anybody to do. Fuck. They got practice and games and class and homework and all of this shit with school and going into school and getting out of school. Like, and no, honestly, everybody was like looking like, oh, Toya's stressed out because now she got to homeschool them kids. Who the fuck want to homeschool their kids? Go to hell. I don't want to have no kids now because I might have to homeschool them motherfuckers. I don't know new math. I'm not a teacher. That's not where it's not me. I want these kids to go to school. Okay. So I feel like I can't be mad at Toya because I feel like essentially she's just like a regular house mom.
Regular mama.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's weird how
people. No, that makes sense. I think you hit on a lot of good points for people to like consider and really think about when it comes to Toya, and the value that she adds to that marriage and her household. So yeah, I think those are good points. I think that was a good devil's advocate.
Oh, and another thing, y'all can say what y'all want to, but Eugene was the first person to talk about what that old shot was doing for him at the house.
Was that Eugene that said that? Oh yeah, at the house. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, obviously, Toya popping that coochie because ain't nobody else say shit. They may say what they want to, but he was like, if y'all wives had that old shot. Like, whoa. What
was funny? I looked up that old shot. It said it takes 3 months to go into effect. And it lasts for 24 months.
Feeling something right then.
Well, I bet she thought she was because she said she had to wear 2 panty liners. She said,
I thought she did that anyway.
She said,
yeah, that's what she said.
I said, bitch, you wear panty liners just because you be juiced up? Okay.
That's what I was thinking too. And 2 of them, that doesn't change anything because it's the stickiness at the bottom of 1. So I'm like, 2.
Yeah.
Well,
you're still gonna need to get that out of there at some point.
Whoa.
But anyway, let's get into Real Housewives of Atlanta season finale. I wanted to start out asking y'all, how would y'all rate this season?
Probably an 8.
7. 7 and an 8. We'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah, like 7.5. It was like, yeah, I'll give it an 8. I mean, the back and forth with Kenya and Marlo, I could appreciate.
Candy
I mean,
broke
it was Candy.
you know.
Yeah, like they didn't. I don't feel like they had a ton of high moments. I have to say, I don't think there were a ton of memorable moments, but I don't think that it was a bad season.
It wasn't boring.
I feel like one of the memorable moments, honestly, would be Drew. When Drew called Fatima a lapdog or whatever and start throwing bones at her ass or whatever, or food or whatever that was. No. Drew had 2 moments. Then she throw snacks at her ass outside and then turned around and pulled out a bone out her purse and said, "Here, bitch, chew on that. Chew on that." Like Drew had memorable moments, but not all of the girls did.
I hated that shit.
That wasn't shit. So that was lame shit to me for her.
It was giving Jocelyn Cabaret. We seen
it. Not Jocelyn.
Shit last season. Remember the Christmas present shit with the wig and all of that? That shit was terrible.
Oh yeah.
It was along the lines of that dumb shit.
Remind me, because I don't have no memorables.
I'm gonna tell you it's not a one thing, but the most memorable thing about the entire season for me was Kenya's energy. Kenya's energy this season was the best it has ever been. She was truly enjoyable to watch this season. Okay. I even enjoyed her relationship with Drew. Like, I was kind of like, oh my God, I'm so glad they're getting along. Like, I don't know why. And then the only thing that annoyed me is I feel like now I'm like, bitch, you being too nice. Why is you this nice to Sheree? I don't like it. Stop it. Okay. She's not a true friend, Kenya. Stop being nice to her. But I love the way Marlo was like laughing, paying, the way Kenya was paying Marlo dust. She was like laughing at her, running from her. That shit was hilarious to me. She was just like enjoying herself. And I enjoyed watching her enjoy herself. So to me, that was the highlight of the whole season.
Okay.
I agree. And
that makes sense, Bondi. Because you're not a Kenya fan at all. So that makes sense why for you that's one of the memorable things. That makes sense.
Kenya was my favorite. I told them to save me a seat on Team Twirl. She didn't disappoint this season at all. My favorite was whenever she told Sonya, "I'm gonna talk and you're gonna listen." I was like, come on, because I had been waiting on somebody to light Sonya's ass up. And I kept thinking it was gonna be at the reunion. But honestly, like Bonnie mentioned, Kenya has done a good job this season of paying attention to where she allocates her energy. And I don't think she's going to give that to Sonya or anybody else. Only Marlo at the reunion. I don't see her doing that for nobody else. The only person I actually think is going to say something to Sonya is Drew. Even though Sonya was saying like lightweight shady stuff throughout the season.
Before I forget. Candy and Todd going in on Marlo at the same time, and Todd saying how thirsty she was. That right
How
there.
dare I forget that? Bitch, I'm worldwide.
Gold. Bitch, I'm worldwide. Okay,
no, that was a good one. And Kenya telling Sonya, girl, get out my face. I love that moment so fucking much because Sonya was really going up for Marlo so bad. Kenya, come talk to her.
Girl, get out of my face.
Girl, get out of my face.
She rolled that window up on her ass.
Yes.
That was hanging up the girl by.
Yes.
That's the energy.
Like they can't hang up one time, so they press the shoe. She was like,
girl by. Yes, I have to. Yeah, y'all right. I have to say.
Loved it.
It was a good season. So, a couple things I want to talk about. A couple things I just want to skim over. So, I want to skim over Kenya being in CVS. Amazing. Glad the girls came out. I want to skim over Drew not reading the fucking book, even though the book is supposed to be soon. The things I do want to talk about, though, is Sonya and Ross both agreeing to have a kid. after we went through this entire like thing during the season. For me, it was very much given storyline because if you already felt like you needed 9, 10, 11, 15,000 people to help you with one kid, I just couldn't see a situation where him saying we can do whatever you want to do made you ready to have a kid. It just felt kind of odd to me. So what are y'all's thoughts on Sonya and Ross?
Fake.
Yeah.
It feels like either you faking that you want to have another kid, or you faking that it was ever an issue in the first fucking place. Because that didn't even make sense to me. Your argument was that he is not there enough, he is not involved enough, and the one child is already a lot for you.
Yeah.
So another baby on top of that, no matter if he said it was okay or not, it's still going to be another baby with him going back and forth to Texas. So I kind of felt like it was either a lie from the very beginning. It's all lies. Or she is not really gonna get pregnant, or she's just giving in because she feels like that's what she should do, especially once everybody starts reading you for filth online about what they suspect might be the issue. You want to prove everybody wrong. So now you're gonna do something that you may not really want to do in order to prove everybody wrong. This is the life you wanted. You wanted a husband and you wanted the kids and you want the whole big ass house filled with people thing, even though it feels like you want to run away from everybody with those shoes on, barefoot. Like, to me, wanting to do Real Housewives of Atlanta feels like set up for escape in some type of way, or at least having the avenue to escape.
Yeah. It makes me think that when you say maybe it wasn't real, maybe that's not something that she really wanted, it makes me think, well, is it not? I was thinking at first, like, okay, all she really wanted was to support him, to understand where she's coming from and everything. So I was with it. But as I'm hearing y'all talk, it's like, dang, or maybe she don't plan on having another child, and this is a piece of a storyline in hopes of getting another damn season.
Huh. Oh, no, you didn't.
That's just that's what
Not
I'm
a
starting to think
Robin.
now. Not Robin. Good night. That's what I'm thinking. Like, was it really genuine, or
I think
is this
she'll
gonna
have
be
another one.
an extension?
I think she'll have another one, but not because she want to have it, but because you don't. Even though your husband is saying, I get the feeling that when they first, before they even had the first kid, they agreed to two, which is why he was like, "No, we gotta have another one." Because when she came to him on some camera shit, he was probably like, "Get out my face with this." So even if she does feel like she can't manage another kid, she gonna have it anyway because she don't want to deal with what he said, where he says not having one might be the same thing that breaks us. And she remember that shit. So I think she's gonna compromise what she wants to do and say, "Oh well, I got help. I can make it work." And your husband don't want to compromise. Ain't no telling. So next thing I want to talk to y'all about is Marlo and Emma. Let me know if it was just me, but I felt like this whole episode was like redemption for Marlo. Marlo spent the entire season showing her bare ass to everybody. And in the last hour, I felt like, or at least the last two episodes, I felt like they were trying to tie it in a nice bow. You had her best friend come on the show last episode talking about Marlo's a good person after she didn't talk mad shit about everybody below the belt type shit, even talked about Candy's mothering. Then you bring your mama on the show, you pick her up in your Rolls Royce, you do this, you do that, your mama who's on drugs, and like how convenient that you haven't talked to her in 3 years, but now the year that you're on the TV show, you're willing to work out a relationship with her. Not saying your mama ain't done things to you, but everything was like less tied up in a bow. Not only that, you brought the boys around Sonya and Ross to pour into them after sending them out for 30 days. So it's like you sent them over there with your sister and you kept saying to your sister, how was it with them being with a man when you had resources all around you to keep them in the house with you for the 30 days? So I was just turned off by this entire last episode for Marlo. I will say I did enjoy Ross and Sonya having the boys over, but with Marlo, there's a lot of inauthenticity there. Inauthenticity there, and I can't stand it. I can't.
I think that's a good observation. I didn't think about it like that at all. I did find it interesting. She had on boys most of the season, and then she want to go pick them up on the last day of filming. Like, I didn't even think about it being like a redemption moment for her. Dang, I didn't think about it at all. I thought about her mama. You brought her now, and now she's trying to bring her own dude onto the show. And you barely onto the, you barely good in with your daughter yourself. But as far as the redemption situation, that didn't even cross my mind. Maybe it was.
For me, I think it was absolutely trying to clean up what had been done throughout the season, because Marlo has a habit of saying the worst shit and then being able to follow it up with some sweet ass apology, like damn near flirting with a bitch. And and then I'm just saying, you always look so beautiful and so rich.
She really do. She do be damn near flirting. Yeah.
I mean, in her conversation with her mom about the boyfriend thing, and that's probably why she don't even want a man and all of that type of shit. And I was just kind of like, so is that why you're always trying to throw it in Candy's face that she likes girls when Candy has already admitted that? Because you secretly because like, to me, there are a lot of hood girls. Like, I know a lot of hood girls that secretly like women that like other girls, but felt like they could never really be with them because that's nasty and that ain't what bitches do and all of that, because that's what they were taught. So they might have those feelings and feel like, just like men have those feelings, and they kind of have this like aggression or this nastiness towards it because they really wish that they could, and say it out loud, like someone said in the comments about Sanya. But Marlo definitely was trying to clean it up, and it still didn't work for me, because Marlo is who she is, and you just seem like the type of person to use everything as a tool of manipulation.
I have to agree with that, because it didn't change my stance on Marlo at all. If that was a redemption, like
It didn't.
not
It
at
didn't.
all.
But I was like, I see what you're doing.
It was interesting that she want Candy though. Like, why you want Candy to meet your mama of everybody? Why you ain't bring your girl
Candy and her
Sonya?
mama are close. And she's been trying to garner sympathy from Candy from day one. That's why she told Candy about the boys, thinking that Candy was going to give her that sympathy, and she didn't get it. I feel like that's also why she goes so hard on Candy too, because if you think about it, like, Candy is everything that Marlo is not. And those are the things that Marlo decides to pick on. Candy is self-made. She doesn't, her money is not associated to a man at all, which is why you try to throw in her face that she's more successful than her husband.
Yeah.
And then she's a mom, she's a wife, just those types of things. So those are the same things that she attacks, but then on the flip side, it's like, you want to be real close with Candy. It's just real weird. It's real weird. She don't know how to express that. And I thought it was interesting that her mama, she said her mama always choose men over her. And Marlo doesn't see the value in men, which is why she always trick them out, allegedly. So she definitely, and I think that's why she can't wrap her head around Candy and Todd. It's like, that's what you want. You wish it would be that easy to be self-made, your money be legitimate, and have a husband and a family that loves you, really. I hate to say that. Like, and when she was talking to Kenya and said, your own mama don't love you, she was really talking to herself.
Oh, yeah. Always she was talking to herself with that one. Like, that's why she's so mad at Kenya, because they have so much in common when it comes to that. But Kenya is still accomplished. Kenya is still pristine. It still doesn't require a man. Like, she still is, looking at those things like, damn, bitch, and feeling a way, if you ask me. That's why she always fucking with Kenya. Like, anybody on the show that she goes at like that, I think it's really because she's jealous of them in some really deep way.
Absolutely.
She throws it in Candy's face. You had a better life than me. Girl, what? So that means you could treat me like shit because I had a better childhood than you? The fuck?
Yep.
I know if she get another season, I don't want to hear her talking about her being in foster care. Because
I
you
would take
always
her
want to
talking
garner
about it.
sympathy, but want to throw it up in other folks' face. Say
Mhm.
what?
Only if she was being, I
Don't
would
throw
hear
that
her
up in.
talk about it only if she was being real. Like whatever damn therapist Kenya has gone to, that's who Marlo need to go to.
That's a good
Marlo
therapist.
might need two
Mm.
or three of them, but that's who she need to go to. I would listen to it. I just need, and I actually think her being on the show would help her because all the feedback that she getting from the fans, like these people act like they don't listen to what people say about the show, but they listen.
Mhm.
So I think she's probably just never had people hold her accountable because she prefers to have people around who coddle her because of
Mm.
what happened when she was fucking 12. Um,
Now what happened
she
when
needs
she
to help.
was 12? I am dead.
No, for real. I can't stand it. Oh, when I was 12, it's giving shit. When I was 10, I had long hair. My mama permed it. You fucking
Good night.
37. You still talking about your hair touching your ears.
Oh my!
So
Wow!
I can't.
Wow!
But real quick before we get into the fashion show, Candy and Mama Joyce with this trust situation. So it was two things that popped up out of this conversation. Number one, Mama Joyce was saying that Candy should not set up Todd if something were to happen to her. Number two, what she was saying that Candy should take more care of Riley with the trust because Riley is the child who didn't have a father versus Ace and Blaze. Um, I kind of saw where Mama Joyce was coming from when it came to the man, but at the same point in time, it's like if the shoe was on the other foot, you would never suggest your daughter to be in a marriage where she wouldn't benefit after her partner were to pass on. Like, I don't think that's mutually beneficial. I think he should be able to upkeep the life that he had. Um, and I thought it was cool that Candy said it's cool as long as he doesn't remarry. And at first I was like, well, what's the difference? And I guess she's probably thinking about like the generational wealth that would be tied to it. Because if that woman did marry Todd, she would have generational wealth through you. So I get that. And then as far as the kid situation, I don't even know what to think. Like, I don't think that Candy should treat her kids differently. But I really don't know what to make of that. So y'all help me out.
I think that was foolishness. When she said about Riley having, more because she didn't have a father. That's foolishness. Riley also got Candy by herself for most of her damn life. Now, Blaze and Ace have to share her, not only with her more successful business ventures, but also with more children and more people. So I feel like it kind of all balances out when you think about it. Okay. And you had, Riley basically grew up with Candy. They had so much time with just the two of them. And I honestly feel like it was a blessing for Riley to kind of be an adult by the time the other children came along, because she really fully got to be the only child for her entire childhood. And now the two of them have to grow up in such close proximity to each other that they'll grow up always knowing that they had another sibling. So essentially, I think it worked out the way it needed to. And Candy does so well for herself, and Todd has made that even more possible for everybody. Why do you continue to have this attitude that anything connected to him doesn't need to be as supported? And I think that's the fucked up thing to me, because Blaze and Ace are your grandchildren too. But this is what I said in my review, and this is what I believe. I believe that Riley is old enough with a older person like Don Juan to be in control of Candy's trust if something happens to her. So if something happened to Candy, I think it should be Riley and Todd with Don Juan as like a mediator, deciding factor type person, and vice
Yep.
versa. Either he can have Don Juan or he can pick somebody else, and
Mhm.
Caleb, his oldest child, should be the one that has the control, the controlling factor in their situation, where maybe, Candy in a third party to, differentiate what happens in that
Oh,
situation
that's a good point.
whenever they
Yeah.
disagree. And if both of them pass, then I feel like Kayla and Riley with Don Juan or whatever other like older person that can kind of guide them should be in, should help them be in control. But do this shit the way people do. Get that shit to your kids. Whatever the oldest child is, that's the person that's in control. But make sure you have it in the will that everything is to be split equally amongst the children. So if Candy passes away, I believe she should have equal splitting for her 3 children and probably give Kayla a little small percentage of her stuff just because I feel like that's what she would do anyway. And then with Todd, I feel like Todd shit should go to Kayla and maybe he have a little, Kayla and his 2 kids. And if he feels the need to give something to Riley, then he would do that. But because Riley, Candy is already there, if he passes and Candy's still there, he doesn't have a need to do that because Candy makes more money. So that wouldn't be the same. But Candy does make more money. And another thing about setting up the next woman, bitch, you dead.
Good night.
That's what I was thinking too. Why would you wish bad on your husband just because you're not there no more?
Like Mama Joyce is really one of those, like I have, the bitterness is embedded in the bloodstream at this point. Because it don't matter how you slice it, Mama Joyce gonna be bitter about like I just feel like that's too much. Why you care that much what that man do when he dead? Like as long as she put it in the trust or she puts it in the will that everybody gets a certain percentage, there's nothing Ty can do. Do you know what I'm saying? To dismantle what's been put in somebody's will once they've signed off on it.
Yeah. Mama Joyce, the moral of the story, Mama Joyce want the money, period. Okay.
That's what I thought.
And that's why she said Riley, because she had more time with Riley, and I feel like she can get in Riley's head more. Where it's time they gonna let her connect to them other children like that on that level.
Right.
I do understand where Mama Joyce was coming from with Riley. Right, I feel like Riley should have more money and access to what Candy had prior to Todd. Then what she gained after Todd is what she probably should break down and decipher and split amongst, I guess the rest or whatever, the other 2 kids or whatever. But then they still her kids. See, that's where it get complicated because it don't matter what you acquired over all those years. They still your motherfucking kids, so take care.
They
like split it equally.
have a portion of whatever you got because they're your kids.
Because
I'm the baby of 3 kids. My sister and my brother are both between 18 and like 15 years older than me. Mm-hmm. It went so obviously they had more time with my dad. That would have been fucked up if I would have got less because I came later on. Nigga, I was still his kid. Right. So no, I think they should all get equal. But my sister got power attorney over certain things because she's the oldest child, along with my mother. So like all of us, me, my sister, and my brother had a split of my father. Like a 25%. All of us had 25%, and my mom has 25% of his. And then my mom has her 50 of their whole thing. You see what I'm saying? And then we had a portion of his 50. And she had a portion of his 50 in death as well. So everybody got 25% because it was 3 kids and his wife. And of course she would get
even,
Yeah. So that's how, and I feel like that's fair. And I feel like that's how it should be. Those kids shouldn't get less because they came later on in life.
Right. But, she thinks in her mind that Riley is her and Candy daughter. And the other 2, she like, those not my kids.
Then wow.
That's terrible because Blaze looked just like Candy.
When they were in the car and Blaze in that back seat, I was like,
singing.
Oh, yes.
So cute. Now, as far as Todd remarrying, I truly believe that that's not something Candy will have to worry about. I don't think that man gonna remarry.
He's too tight for that. He ain't trying to marry nobody that might be with him just because he got money and he a old little to a rich bitch named Candy. You ain't about to come and marry me.
He'll date her forever, but she'll never be a wife. And she gonna have to be okay with that.
That New Jersey.
Yeah, I don't think he would do that.
But Candy says she won't marry, and I want to think that she wouldn't, but I don't know. I feel like
they're older, so they probably won't, y'all. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Most people their partner died, once they done got into their 50s and 60s, they usually don't remarry. They may have somebody they live with,
Yeah.
they may have a partner, but they don't be remarrying because they want to get the Social Security from whoever they was with. Like, ain't nobody doing all that.
No, you don't get that no more if you remarry.
I feel like you will probably get the other person's Social Security. Like, if that person died, like, I don't know how that works. I'm sure it's different, depending on where you are, but I would think at least, I don't want to change my last name, so I want to always be able to get the benefits that I got from this marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my mama still get insurance and all of that shit from my daddy's, pension and working all of those years for Union Carbide, girl.
Well, thank you, Damien, for the super chat. Damien says, why, damn, my mind. Riley will handle everything. Isn't she going to school to be an entertainment lawyer?
That's what I thought.
Hopefully so. But last thing we want to talk about when we get into this show before we head into gossip is the fashion show. She by Shein, she by Amazon, she by AliExpress.
She buy full of shit.
She buy she don't.
Right.
She buy never gonna get
I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
She buy she ain't it.
The fashion show was giving. Like, the fashion show was cool. That looked like a good event. But it really, like, even the fashions in the fashion show wasn't what was on the website. That was not what was on the website. Tyrone showed up with the pimp walk, wanting attention, and he showed up not once but twice, but both of them were very like the same moment where he's looking at the camera directly in the lens. He's kissing her on the cheek.
He even catacornered himself. He catacornered himself with the flowers and shit. He cheated the camera.
When he walked in the room, he goes, kiss her on the cheek. Yeah, he's full of it. And then they had to get their resident ex-felon to find out if he was lying about his
not the resident.
That is a lie. For 500
according to section 32. So what are y'all's thoughts on this fashion show? And yes, we gonna like talk about the actual website. But as far as the fashion show for the finale, was she giving?
I thought she ended up doing, for the most part, a good job. It was Dwight for me that was so ready to go. And it also was the white boy for me in the outfit. That the outfit was basic as hell, but he looked good in it. So I thought he did great. But overall, it was a cute event. I was proud of Sheree, but it was on a quick decline post the show and getting to the website. But good for her.
Oh yes.
Poor me. I feel like the beginning was like, what is going on? Like, it looked kind of like, I felt like over time the looks became cuter, but I was like, am I really gonna work out in that? Like, or it's athleisure, but it's like it's
more
athleisure lifestyle. I think it's laced with my ass out. Don't feel like something.
Right.
I didn't think I would wear that to the gym, or would I wear that, leisurely around my home, unless I was trying to get fucked. But that's not the point. Girl. Anyway, yeah, it was cute though. It was cute for what it was, but it wasn't all that. The highlight to the fashion show was Dwight looking so fucking good and Kenya looking good in that dress. Like, in Candy's face, well, the face that they produced for us. Because I feel like when you really looked at Candy's face when Apollo was on the runway, the face was not the same as the one they were showing you in the little box. They was trying to make it seem like she had an issue or something like that, or she was disinterested, but she was like everybody else watching as he walked past. But yeah, like, and I saw Apollo's girlfriend, and I love that they labeled her his girlfriend, because it was a lot of wife talk when he was going to jail and all of that. And I'm like, oh, you still not his wife yet, Shireen? Oh, you still just the girlfriend, Shireen? Looking real ditty, go poppy, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the
wife, like Yandy. Whenever you did your time, they did the big ride or die. That's the wife.
Okay, so yeah, it was cute for what it was, but it wasn't all that.
All right. Any more comments on the episode before we hop into the gossip of this She by eBay or She by AliExpress?
She.
All right, y'all. It is time to jump into gossip. All right, y'all. So I wanted to grab some pictures. I didn't realize I had the same picture twice, but fuck it. Of the items that was on She by Sheree website, right? That is no longer, the website is no longer up. But I was going through the website when she finally opened it back up because right after the episode, they claimed they got too much traffic. She opened up opened up the website again shortly after, and I was scrolling through, and I was like, "Hold on, this can't be the right website. It can't be because you're not gonna tell me that this heating press on a damn Hanes t-shirt is $142." And that's when I'm just like, come on, Sheree. You probably don't pay people because any good team would have advised you that you were outpricing the people who actually gave a fuck. No shade. But to be real, like, you gotta understand, like, Beyonce merch ain't even $142 for a t-shirt. So you make us wait 14 years to play with our pockets. Well, you're not playing with mine, but you know what I mean. So as far as the prices, that's a damn mess. Not only that, but right after the episode ended, I already knew exactly what Sheree was doing whenever she said that she was selling athleisure, because all athleisure for the most part looks the same. So I'm like, she's going to be ordering that shit off AliExpress. When she said it was stuck in Alaska, it was probably stuck in China or California because that's usually the warehouse it come through. She put a star on top of it and wants to charge $132 for it when I think it's $30 on Shein. So that's a damn mess. So I checked the website again today, and today was this message: "Dear fans, pardon our progress. It was a full house. Thank you for the overwhelming response. Though we could not accommodate all visitors, we are excited to refresh and relaunch very soon. No, all existing orders are currently being fulfilled. Please stay tuned to Sheree Whitfield for upcoming information." So I guess she got a little money off of whoever placed the order, but all in all, 14 years for what?
Girl. Yeah.
Full of shit. I can't believe her. Like, that shit down again, girl. And we knew it wasn't real. That's why, like, when that story came out about the guy Tyree who said that he had actually made 40 pieces for her, I was like, child, don't be believing what people be saying, because people always want attention. How the fuck you created the 40 pieces and most of them was from Amazon and she inside? Get the hell out of here.
Listen, Sheree, girl, it's the who gonna check me boo for me, America, because they're on your ass. They're definitely on your ass. You ask who's going to check you, and the fans are checking the fuck out of you, girl. Not you to put these wrinkle shirts up on these people, and then you have the audacity to charge $142. See, that's why the website went down right here. It went down so that you can go on, iron them shirts, and retake them photos, and adjust these prices and take $100 off, and only charge $42. Because I know you're not trying to get an extra $100 up out the people on top of shipping and handling. No, ma'am. You were out of line for this. You were wrong. I'm a bit disappointed. I was rooting for you, Sheree. I was rooting for you, girl. I would have bought a tumbler or something, but I feel like the tumbler was a bit too expensive, especially when it's a drop shipping tumbler. Like, I feel a way about it. I'm just so disappointed. And really, the fashions that you presented at the fashion show wasn't even on the site. And why is that? And the other thing, before I go, I'm gonna leave you alone. But before I go, because I have to check you, it's the fact that you sat up there and had us believing that you had a designer creating all these things only for you to go and purchase things from somewhere else and slap your label on it and say it's She by Sheree. You're not gonna get me in 2022. You're not going to get me this year. Try next year, but you're not going to get me this year. Girl.
Yikes.
Yeah. I hate to see it. So that was an unsuccessful launch, and Bonnie, you touched on it. Her allegedly not paying one of the designers, so she couldn't copyright the fashions for the show, which is why she had to allegedly do She by AliExpress. But moving on from that, let's stay in the housewives realm. Drew Sidora and her husband Ralph was talking to Page Six, I believe last week, and they asked her if it's anybody who you could pull off the show and bring people back, who would it be? She said in a heartbeat, Sonya. So obviously we know this reunion ain't gonna go well. And second, like she would remove Sonya. Second, she said that she would remove Sheree. And she said basically it makes no difference because Sheree like here and there every other season anyway. Who she said she would bring back was Cynthia and Portia. And she said she would also like to see Eva. She said a lot of people don't know that she met Cynthia through Eva. So let me ask y'all that. Gossip is Portia is trying to come back to the show. So this is like a twofold, okay? What do y'all think about this switcheroo that Drew is suggesting? What do y'all think about the switcheroo that Drew is suggesting? And then number two, how would y'all feel if Portia came back?
I'm not interested for real in seeing Portia come back for real. Only if she's gonna be arguing with Kenya. I'm not really interested in it. If she came back on something else, maybe. But I think Portia's gonna try to come back and not talk about Simon, and I don't think that's going to really slide. I think the girl's gonna come for her. She's gonna have to address that. So it makes me wonder if that's really true about her coming back or not, or if she's just gonna be trying to get a wedding special like she did her last special. As far as her swapping these two ladies out, I feel like she wasn't really lying about Sheree. Like, I mean, she probably not gonna return next season and then, skip a few and return. Who knows? But Sonya, she wasn't a fave. So I'm like, she can go. You could bring Cynthia back. But at the same time, I'm like, we've seen what Cynthia has worked with. So maybe we could give Sonya another season. But if she wasn't renewed, I wouldn't be mad at that either. So those are my thoughts, John.
I personally feel like, I wouldn't mind seeing Cynthia back, because there were oftentimes I just enjoyed seeing her. Thank you. That looks delish. And when it comes to Portia, I'm bored, girl. I am bored. I don't even care anymore. Who else? Who else might come back? Who else? She wants to get rid of Sheree? We can get rid of Sheree. She didn't give anything besides she by she don't. She didn't give us anything.
Portia, Cynthia, and Eva, she says.
I would like Eva back because Eva reads.
I'm a co-sign that. And I didn't even want to see Eva on the show. I don't know why, but I was like, I don't know if this is for Eva. Like, I'm not, I like her how she is. Don't come on this show. But I wouldn't mind seeing Eva back. I have to agree with that one.
Yeah, I didn't like Eva on the show, but I do think that that's a good choice. As far as Cynthia and Portia, I think they both could be gone, not come back. One of the things I just think is interesting is this isn't the only interview that I heard Drew saying something about Sheree coming back and forth like a boomerang. And it's like, girl, you're only on your second season. You know how they like to do the girls. You're not safe until after the third, really. So I'm like, I wouldn't be speaking on Sheree coming back and forth like a boomerang the way that you are, because that would be tragic if they didn't ask you to come back. But you done already sold your marriage to Bravo, so you probably in there. Yup. Now I actually enjoy Sonya, even though I don't like Sonya. Let's make this clear. But I do think she's good for the show. Better than what a Cynthia would be for the show. Portia, I don't want to see it. I think it's going to change the dynamic and it's going to shift to more of like an OG type thing when I feel like we've moved beyond that this season. And I definitely don't want to see like an OG newbie, auntie's niece dynamic again. So I'm good on that. Now, next thing that I have been hearing is it's been some mess going on at one of Candy's restaurants, and it wasn't OLG like I thought it was gonna be. It's actually the Blaze Steak and Seafood restaurant. So Fox 5 talking about employee shoots coworker in fight at Real Housewives star Kitty Bird's restaurant, police say. And it was confirmed that it was her nephew Melvin, confirmed by his Instagram. I didn't want to post the pictures, but you can clearly see the bullet wound in his arm if you go to his Instagram. But I did snag a bit of his story where he says, "Still here because Granny be praying for me." And a lot of people on social media are opinionated about the hood shit that be going on in Candy's establishments. And they feel that way because of what we see on Old Lady Gang, Candy keeping people around who don't really do shit, just because you're loyal. But we really don't know who this employee was that shot Melvin. So this whole situation, do y'all think that this is a reflection of who is on staff for Candy's businesses or what?
I don't know if it's a reflection. People get popped every day, people be working for corporate businesses, you know what I'm saying? And they'll pull up like that black lady did not too long ago and get the capping. But
I was just about to say, Jamie, that's what we should have. I forgot all about that because I was following that story.
Yes, I don't know if it's like a reflection. I think it was just a disagreement. I'm just trying to understand, how did it happen to Melvin? He seemed like he don't bother nobody. But when you ask him something, he seems like he's not going to sugarcoat it. He's going to be honest and straight up. And maybe they just couldn't take what he had to say. I'm inching to know, who was this person? And could we have possibly got a glimpse of this person on Candy in the gang? And I feel like this situation has taken the gang to a different level. When we say Candy and the gang, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of feel a bit bad for Candy. And I say that because her restaurants, ever since it was announced that her show was coming, it's been a lot of flack that she has been getting about like ratings and stuff. It's always something that's going on. They had to close down for this. So whatever the case is, and then now you got this incident right here. So I kind of feel bad for her that she can't catch a break. She hasn't been able to catch a break.
I feel like Melvin was probably trying to diffuse a situation. Like Melvin is just the type of big dude where a little insecure dude packing a gun would be ready to shoot, would be trigger happy because Melvin's so big that you not about to fight him. I could see Melvin like, I don't know, trying to interject the situation or calm it down, and maybe somebody just shot him. But y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Whenever they said co-workers shot Melvin, and thank God he's okay. I'm not laughing at the fact he was shot, but I'm laughing because I'm like, the type of person who would do this shit, in my mind, I was like, what's the boy's name who they had to let go?
I know who you're talking about. I cannot think of his name. Rashard.
What's the boy? It's somebody like him who I feel like would be trigger happy. Now he didn't do it, so y'all don't take that from what I know. Don't take that and run with it. But that's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, was it him?
Mr. Shardo. That's just interesting. Like, this is just crazy because I need to know the particulars. Like, he showed his wounds on social media. So I'm like, how close range was this shot? And I just need to, who was it? What was the circumstances? And it's like, y'all, this man really could have lost his life, high key, if it would have went to the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? But it seemed like it hit him in his right arm. But what if it would have been a little higher? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just crazy. Like, I hate that for him. I know Candy's restaurant is shut down for the time being. They say they got to train some of the employees.
Got to put a metal detector at the door.
For sure.
To me, it just kind of seems like an unfortunate situation. I do feel like people are more volatile right now than they have been in the past, period. So I think that people are just stressed out during these times that we live in currently. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I want to say It's about Candy, and you know the fact that they don't like to fire people out of some weird ass loyalty shit. You know, I would appreciate y'all firing crazy people, but you know, who knows what the situation was, but Melvin definitely comes off like somebody that, you know, you don't want to have to fight, because I even feel like in my mind, I don't know why, but the way he got shot, it almost seemed like he was like trying to, I guess, you know, like, you know, if somebody's pointing a gun and you have your arms up and you're trying to get them to put the gun down. So you might be walking close to them while they have the gun pointed at you, and you kind of like trying to get them to put the gun down with your arms, and they shoot you in the arm.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
comes to my mind. So I'm glad that Melvin is okay, because I feel like Candy would have been like so distraught. And I know she probably still kind of like shaking and shit behind this situation. They're gonna have to get security. They're gonna have to do checks on people. They're going to have to be a little bit more vigilant about who they allow to work at their establishment. You can't just give everybody a chance because you want to help people. Some people are unstable. Some people don't deserve second chances. Some people need to be in a hospital, and there aren't enough of them. So, you know, it's just unfortunate in my
Yeah, it
opinion.
is unfortunate. And I saw a comment asking if Shardo did it. No, y'all. I shouldn't even say the shit. No. Anyway, somebody asked if this is a second situation with the shooting at her business, and it is. It was another situation in 2020, but I don't believe it was involving any of her employees. So yeah, I'm glad that he seems to be healing, but it's just an unfortunate situation all around. Lastly, last gossip topic I want to get into is Tiffany Haddish and what is his name? Aries Spears.
Aries
Um,
Spears. Aries
Aries.
Spears.
Okay, thank you, Lonnie. Aries Spears. So this week, an old skit resurfaced of Tiffany and Aries Spears, and they thought it was a good idea to make comedy out of some pedophile type thing. The video was floating around on Twitter. I think I watched like the first 3 seconds and I couldn't even finish it. It was like, ugh, I can't believe y'all were joking about that. So this week, the two kids that played in this, they were kids at the time who played in the skit, actually called on the district attorney to act on the case. So they're using the name Jane Doe for the oldest girl who's working on the case, who reported this. Her and her brother claimed that their mom submitted a complaint or a file against Tiffany Haddish, and nothing was done. So now that this video is going back viral, on behalf of her mom, she's asking them to actually do something to arrest and prosecute immediately. So ever since that thing has happened, we don't know who the girl is. We know she's 22 now. Her brother was born in 2007. So what does that make him? 19, something like that. Anyway, Tiffany Haddish made one statement. She says, I know people have a bunch of questions. I get it. I'm right there with you. Unfortunately, because this is an ongoing legal case, there's very little that I can say right now. But clearly, while this sketch was intended to be comedic, it wasn't funny at all. And I deeply regret having agreed to act in it. I really look forward to being able to share a lot more about this situation as soon as I can. Ari Spears was sitting down on somebody's show this week, and he said that this is purely extortion. Um, Now, to add to that, I saw something on Twitter. Somebody was like, "Oh, now y'all want to complain about what is it, child indecency or something when it comes to acting," and they start showing certain examples of children being exploited in the past. And my thing is this, man. I feel like so many times on social media, Black people get blinded into protection mode of trying to protect other Black people because white people have done dumb shit too. Um, I'm not sure what happened on the set of this, but my main question is, did your mama sign you up for this? because that's her who pressed the charges. Like, it's just so confusing. I think it's disgusting. The skit was disgusting. And there needs to be another adult held responsible for signing their kids up for this shit. What do y'all think about Tiffany and Aries?
Very disgusting in my opinion. I cringed kind of watching just a piece of it, and I'm not understanding, even at that time, why they thought this particular skit would be funny. I just, there was nothing, like, I'm confused, and it wasn't like a full-on production, like they were trying to tell like a story for real from like a professional set. This was like some type of low budget, comedy sketch that they was going to put out on YouTube or whatever. But either way, I mean, I didn't like it. I cringed. Like, what was the purpose of us seeing that? Like, what was the point? What was the learning factor? I'm just confused. Like, we know how pedophiles are. We know how they are. Like, why did you feel the need to tell that story? Like, I don't know. It was just so many cringeful moments. And Tiffany, like, I do understand that this wasn't your idea. I definitely get that. But I do think that accountability should be accepted on your behalf, in my opinion, for contributing to the project, because it may not have been your idea, but you knew what was going down. You knew what you were about to participate in. And maybe at that time they thought that type of stuff was okay or something. To me, it just don't make sense. Like, it just don't make sense at all. And then, like, girl, it's just so many wrongs in it. And I don't know what's to be true. People are saying that the lady and Tiffany were really good friends, and that Tiffany, convinced her. And it's like, come on now. At the end of the day, when these your kids, like, yeah, you could trust somebody all day long, but come on now. They your kids. Like, you ain't gotta have them go along with nothing if you don't want them to. Like, that just don't, like, why were you not on set? Why were you not there yourself? So I just feel like if I look at this as though I'm a judge, like, I'm not gonna just excuse the mom of responsibility, like, period, and because she just trusted her friend. You still have a duty to be a parent. So I can't, like, it can't just be on both of them. Like, some of it has to be shared fault on you as well.
Well, aren't y'all kind of confused on what they're going to charge them with?
There's nothing that they can charge them with, because
It ain't no charge. She just want money.
Right. That's why, because you really do just want money, because there's really nothing you can do about this situation. First of all, everybody has to read a script, including Tiffany and Aries, including the child's mother. I'm sure whoever signed the child up to be a part of the production, you have to receive some type of script about what your child.
Not for low budget though. Not for
Really?
not for this, not for the sketch. It's kind of like with improv. You just put an idea out there. You tell them what you want to do, or in this scene, this is what we're gonna do. So it don't necessarily have to be a script for this particular project here. Okay. For these type of stuff, yeah, it don't have to be. But there still is an understanding of what the hell going on.
So, and I'm gonna say this. At what point do you look at what you're doing and say, I can't do this, this shit not right? And everybody had an opportunity to do so. Now, y'all wrong to charge is child endangerment. However, what is the statute of limitations on child endangerment? For people who are now adults. I also feel like there had to be some legalities, meaning that those kids had to get signed up legally. It could be as low budget as they wanted, but it seemed like something that at least had to have people sign some papers in order to be involved, especially children. This was 2016, if I recall, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing though. When it's not done, like if I decide I want to shoot something at my house, there doesn't have to be any paperwork that has to be signed or anything.
It was low-key giving YouTube video.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's
like,
what I'm confused about. Was it because I thought it was like an actual like show that they were doing at one point?
And that's where the mom messed up with her lack of knowledge, I suppose, because they're alleging that Tiffany told the lady this is something they're trying to pitch as a sizzle reel to Nickelodeon. I feel like Tiffany could have, but I feel like Tiffany could have possibly said, if this goes well, your child could probably use this as a sizzle reel, meaning as a demo reel, what people do with acting. they take a lot of different scenes that they've acted in, they chop it up, put it in a demo reel. I don't think she was trying to tell this lady, but I wasn't there. I don't think Tiffany was trying to tell the lady like, yo, we're gonna promote this just as that, like Nickelodeon not gonna take this as no example for no damn sizzle reel about no pedophile. They not finna, like, they're gonna laugh at you in your face, and then looking at how it's shot, they're gonna laugh at you. They expect you to have some type of experience. Like, that's not it, and I'm not taking up for Tiffany by any means, but I'm just like, seeing both sides of it, like, come on. But there still was a duty,
Let
for her
me
and her
give
mom.
y'all a little bit more context. So this article, it goes a little bit more. This article is from NBC. It says the lawsuit alleges that the plaintiff's mother repeatedly asked Spears and Haddish about what was filmed that made her son cry. In 2018, 4 years later, Jane and John's mother learned that the skit featuring her son had been published online, including the Funny or Die digital platform, according to the suit. The mother, upset, stated that she would have never let her son participate in a pedophile child pornography skit. So the mother didn't know what was going on, and the mother wasn't there when they filmed. She just knew her son was crying and did not know that the video was shared, supposedly. So a spokesperson spoke. It says in a statement, a spokesperson said, Funny or Die found this video absolutely disgusting and would never produce such content. We were not involved with the conceptualization, development, funding, or production of this video. It was uploaded to the site as user-generated content, so basically like YouTube, and was removed in 2018 immediately after becoming aware of its existence. So this was on the website for 4 years before the mom knew, and the mom claimed she didn't know what happened when they was filming.
Okay, so Funny or Die is like an independent type of company. Nothing that's like major mainstream or anything like that is what it sounds like.
Right.
It's crazy because her daughter had just filmed something with Tiffany, and then they came back and sent for the little boy, but the daughter is saying that she felt uncomfortable. So I don't know, like, that's why I'm just saying, like, I just try to look at it logically. Like, in the courtroom, there's no way the judge ain't gonna say that to the mama. Like, she gonna have to take responsibility. Everybody has to share fault.
Logically, nothing was actually done to the kids as far as we know. The skit is inappropriate, but it had to be edited together in order to produce what we're seeing. In the actual scene, the kid is not really doing anything that's considered pornography, as far as I saw. And I only saw the one, the two clips. One with the kid covering his eyes and them trying to make it seem like the kid was looking at, ashy, fat, airy Spears, like he wanted him or something like that. And it was playing R. Kelly music. That was weird as hell. But what I mean is, even if it is child endangerment, which it very likely can be, and they might be able to do something about that portion of it, but it's also about who to hold responsible. Do you hold the actors a part of the production responsible, or do you hold whoever is in charge? And who is in charge? And something tells me it might be harder to find that person than, you know what I'm saying? But it's not, right, it's sexually suggestive, but it's not actually sexual acts of any kind.
Well, but the little boy walking around in his underwear, though, like, yeah, nah.
Their underwear in productions all the time. Like, I'm saying, like, I've seen movies and TV shows with kids walking around in boxers or shorts or something and no shirt on. I understand that it looks bad, but that doesn't mean in a court of law it can be made to seem as if something has been done to the child while this
true, and it also doesn't mean in the court of law that it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it also doesn't prove in the court of law that they did or didn't. So, I mean, the judge could still be like, nah, y'all did something that heavily impacted these kids at a later time, so you are going to pay. Just like it could be, as you're saying, like, it doesn't mean that something did happen, but then it also doesn't mean that it didn't. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
so it's really a 50-50.
And that's the dangerous part about it. That's the dangerous part about it, because the boy is still underage, so they very well could charge her with something even if something didn't happen, because the shit was just irresponsible and disgusting as fuck.
Hell yeah.
And it's really
why
going to
would
be
y'all
a
not-
decision of the public for real. That's what I think they're doing. I feel like this was leaked to be tried in public.
Oh yeah,
That's-
everybody thinks that this happened because Aries Spears went at Lizzo.
What?
Oh yeah, he did go at Lizzo. He sure did.
And that happened what? It was like
A
that
week
happened on
ago.
Monday. This shit came out on Friday. Like that was the the days of difference.
I knew I heard this man name. I never heard this man name really until recently. I was like, I know his name from something. Oh gosh, that is a damn shame.
Oh Lord. And it's just making me look at, like, first of all, it makes me look at Tiffany like, you so thirsty to be famous that you'll do anything in order to get here.
Say it again.
And that's not always a good thing at all. And then it makes me look at Aries Spears like you're a disgusting piece of dog shit you look like.
And see, that's what made me think about the kids being impacted, because I'm like, let's say these kids want to be in entertainment. They may think that this is how they may go about that, by doing any kind of thing just to get on, because honestly, that's kind of how the industry has been.
Yes. Very, very pedophilia like.
And it's giving, like you said, that she would do whatever it took to be famous, which is why I could never really get with Tiffany Haddish ever, because she is such a character of shit. I hate to say it, of like a black woman when she acts.
A character.
She's a caricature of a black woman when she acts.
The video of her screaming because the lady was screaming her name, and so she just started screaming the lady name over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I was like, something is wrong with that bitch, bro. Jeez.
I think she thought it was funny, but I don't know. Tiffany Haddish, something about it I just could never get with. Just because, honestly, Loki, I think it was because of the amount of white people that loved her.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's what rubbed me the wrong way. It wasn't always Tiffany Haddish herself. I think it was the amount of white people that loved who she portrayed black women to be, and that pissed me off. But yeah, I guess we're gonna stay tuned with this whole thing. Tiffany's not saying nothing right now. Aries is the one saying that it's purely extortion. Either way it go, I think we can agree that something irresponsible happened. So I guess we just gonna see what's to come of this. Yeah. Any other thoughts or comments before we get ready to close out?
Nah, man. There have been a lot of like sketchy sketches. I'll say that, like, the ones about R. Kelly. There have been Bill Cosby ones. There have been so many sketches, and TV. Just things that have been reenacted on different shows, movies, all kind of shit that was inappropriate and depicted that type of shit. But I think a lot of the times it's adults that partake in the acting of it, first of all. And second of all, the shit be funny on some slick shit. Like somebody pointed out that scene from Scary Movie where the priest jumps on top of the girl when she with the demon inside of her and starts having sex with her, and she's like, ah, and doing all of this. Like technically, it's showing a priest assaulting a child. Like that's what it's showing. But we still was sitting up there laughing because we know that it's not real and that's not a child. You know what I'm saying? This, on the other hand, was just, I don't know how y'all going. I mean, Aries is already like, there ain't nothing going on with him. But Tiffany, I am wondering how Tiffany is going to be able to get herself out of this situation.
Yeah, I wonder how she's gonna do that. As it pertains to like the kids we see on TV shows, oftentimes they use photo doubles. It's just about how they shoot it. Sometimes it's the actual kid. I also think the difference is the parents being completely clear on what's about to happen on set, and also knowing that a check is cut. Whereas I feel like this lady may not have known everything that was gonna happen, and also what's not there. So I'm sorry, I can't talk about it without giving her some accountability. I just can't. also was not there, and then didn't get a check cut from it. And then over the years, see how Tiffany has excelled, and now she wants a check. So I do think two of these things can exist. I think very inappropriate things happen that may have or may not, I'm gonna say, and may have affected those kids. But in addition to that, it could also be an extortion plot as well. It's a play on those children's emotions and what they have experienced. And a lot of times as children, sometimes kids don't understand fully how they feel until somebody puts it upon them how they should be feeling about something. So if the mother put an impression upon them to feel away, I mean, it could have been that. Or it could have been that they really did genuinely feel away. So now they want to, move forward as they can and have a right to do what they choose, to take on this lawsuit and move forward with it and see what happens of it. But I saw somebody in the comments mention that the mama don't even got custody of the baby, of the little boy, and the daughter does.
Yeah, wow. I saw that. That was Prosperity. Yeah, to your point, I can't feel no type of ways if it was extortion, low key. I can't, because I feel like you was gonna have to pay that lady some money one way or another for what you did or what you participated in. Let me say that. So yeah, it's
and
weird.
The mind for me, and I'm not, and I said this in my video, I'm not accusing him of anything, but for your mind to go to that enough for you to create a sketch about it, then now I see you as sketch.
I'm glad you said that, because that reminds me that Tiffany Haddish has been assaulted by, wasn't she assaulted by, mama boyfriend type thing?
That or a foster parent, because wasn't she in the foster system too? That, or I thought it was a story about her being violated.
Yeah, so it makes me feel like, that I feel like people, once things have happened to them that are so fucked up, they no longer have a barometer. They don't have like a, anything that helps them realize that something is too fucked up to laugh at, because they've already been through it.
Mm-hmm. So you think she thinks that is like a normal?
I'm gonna say I feel like at the time, I definitely feel like something in her probably made her feel like that was funnier or more okay than it is, because it happened to her. Because you know how people, like, once shit like that happened to them, they rationalize those things in their mind in order to make themselves feel okay with why it happened. So if you rationalize it for yourself and then you reenact it with a child in a skit, it's probably because you told yourself that these types of things aren't that bad in your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's a joke. Yeah. It's not really happening, because they ain't really getting this done to them. Like when I had this shit done to me, it was really getting done to me. This ain't really, this ain't that. So we can ha about this, because this ain't as bad as I know it can be. Like, people have all types of fucked up, like, thought processes after they've been traumatized, especially in childhood, especially on that level, and then especially getting into Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Is this like?
Let me read this comment.
You know what? Why am I giving commentary at all? Let me just stop giving commentary, since it's an excuse.
Absolutely not. Heavy Hitter Media. We could just pay a dust. I wanted to read this comment because Heavy Hitter Media says, did you guys discuss that they have been trying to sue since 2020? Every lawyer has dropped the Jane Doe and John Doe case.
I did read that in an article. Yeah, I read that in a news article that every attorney she's gotten has dropped her. But I feel like
it actually happened.
Say what?
It's probably because it's hard to prove that something actually happened. It sounds good on social media, but once a lawyer sits down with what's actual fucking evidence of the situation, that video may not be enough, because that's all, like, that's something edited together.
I wonder that too, because when they initially like take her, either they doing it to just take her money and get a retainer, but when they retain them, oftentimes they believe that you have a case. So it makes me wonder, honestly, I don't know, just me wondering, if the mama probably got something going on with her that they was like, yeah, no, you're not being reasonable here, so we're going to drop you. Because it's like, for her to keep getting attorneys, somebody has to see that she may have somewhat of a case to even get started. And it could be what you mentioned, Bondi. Maybe it's like we don't have enough evidence to go off of. It's not going to go anywhere. But I also feel like y'all should know that from the beginning when y'all have a consultation with her. Y'all should already know that information. So it just makes me wonder what's going on with her that make them be like,
I can't fuck with her.
You're being unreasonable. We got to drop the case.
How many parents you know that get their kids involved in shit like this not fucked up? Like, a lot of times it be people that don't really be trying to give a fuck about their kids anyway. You know what I'm saying? So they just throw their kids to any old body. They want their kids to be a star. So they just gonna throw their kids to any old body, you know, in hopes that they'll be. I mean, think about the R. Kelly shit. All of them people dropping their kids off the R. Kelly's house and shit. Like, what? You know this nigga ain't to be trusted, but you really still gonna do it? Like,
and the person mentioned that this one isn't filed by her. The kids filed. Yeah, the kids are not filing. All the ones that she tried to get through wouldn't go anywhere. So now the kids are filing in the place of their mom. So we'll have to see what's going to happen with that. You know, I would think that if they have an attorney that's suing, they must think that those individuals have a case. They must think that they have some type of case, unless something go wrong. Now, if this gets dropped, then there's something else that's going on.
It made me think about them videos. Somebody just released some videos of Ariana Grande and Kat. I forgot her last name. Sam McCarthy. That's her real name. When they was on that TV show, Kat and Sam on Nickelodeon, the creator of that show had them doing like lots of sexually suggested content. Like, had Ariana Grande like sucking her own toes, you know, mouth wide open type thing, hanging off the bed, all kind of weird shit when they were all underage. And those videos was uploaded to the Nickelodeon website, and they were all short videos too. And I feel like that was probably like right before 2014 when it was happening, maybe 2011. But a lot of that weird shit goes on. So I think it's interesting that they mentioned Nickelodeon when doing this. Yeah, I don't know why they would.
That's interesting. I just feel like presenting them with this tape, I still feel like they would laugh. But then those are different departments. But when you go into production and the writers and the director of who's setting up the scene and stuff, then that's a bit different. But it's still Nickelodeon, because I feel like when I think about just the cartoons, they did push that stuff like with Ren and Stimpy. Different type of cartoons, they would still push that sexual type of content.
It was another show, and it was a TikTok exposing all this TikTok channel. It was another show that was called Life with Derek. And I literally forgot all about the show until I saw the TikTok. And they were it was basically about a stepbrother and stepsister, and they both were in high school. But they had a lot of sexual tension too on the show. It was weird as fuck. And looking back at some of the stuff that goes on now, I'm like, what is going on?
I'm glad you said that.
So crazy.
I've been watching fucking Pretty Little Liars again on HBO Max.
Which one? The original or the new season?
The original. And
girl, you know, I was obsessed with that show.
Me too. That was my shit back in the day. But now that I'm watching it now, and I feel like it wasn't even that fucking long ago, but when I watched that shit, I had the whole teenager having a sexual relationship with her adult grown-ass teacher.
Woo.
Yes.
And everybody acting like, you know, romanticizing this grown-ass man having a sexual relationship with Aria. Aria was a child. And everybody was like, and to me now, when I watch it back, Aria looked like a fucking child. You know, when we were younger, we didn't perceive it that way. But when I watch that shit now, I'm like, nigga, that look like a little girl showing up to your fucking apartment door for you to let in and fuck and then send back to her parents. You know, like I was just kind of like, yeah, it's a lot of this shit. The
Nickelodeon, they gonna have to get called to the carpet at some point.
Bruh.
I think, because I feel like a lot of these different channels, Cartoon Network, a lot of these different channels contributed to this type of behavior that we see. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up deleting a lot of their shows off their apps, like a lot of old stuff, because they contributed to a lot of this stuff that made people think that it was okay. And it was obviously at that time, but since we've evolved, you're not gonna get that past nobody. You're just not. So it's just gonna be interesting. Y'all calling these individuals out. Y'all need to call out these
whole
networks. Yes.
Yes.
Call out Disney Channel. Call out Netflix. Not Netflix, but Nickelodeon.
They absolutely perpetrate that shit, and a lot of the stuff that they promote. Ezra was 25 too. Yes, and fucking what? Aria was 15.
Yeah, she was. They were freshmen when the show first started, so she was 15,
14.
14 or 15.
14. 14 years old, and this nigga was like 25, just out of college, and they was out of actually masters to be a teacher.
Ooh, baby.
Girl, it was just kind of like, really, we doing this?
Well, let me read this. Thank you to Els for the super chat. She says it probably wasn't enough for a strong civil suit. The DA would press criminal charges, not civil. I think they want the DA to pick up the case.
Oh, okay.
You said something that had me like, oh my gosh. I can't even remember.
I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying what I feel like, because I think something's wrong with Tiffany. So like when I said that about her.
Yeah, that makes sense what you said. There's psychology behind it. And you just touching on the psychology. Yeah, there's definitely psychology behind that shit. Which, I mean, yeah. Bro,
yeah. She's just weird, though. She mad weird.
Maxwell Media says Dan Schneider was on the Nick Network, Drake and Josh iCarly Victorious. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. He was sick on all the shows. Check out Jeanette McCurdy book. Right. Oh, so that's what I was going to say. Jeanette McCurdy book recently launched called I'm Glad My Mom's Dead. And her mom really is. Probably so. But I was interested to read it because I really liked her when she was on iCarly. And anyway, she talks about her toxic relationship with her mom, and her mom basically abused her growing up to get her into stardom. Her mom trained her on how to have eating disorders, all kinds of stuff in order for her to make the money. She was playing some voice messages went viral of her calling Jeanette, basically cursing her out and then asking her to send her money for a refrigerator. And it makes me think about how a lot. Yeah, that was her. That makes me think about how a lot of these kids these child stars who make it, they're fueled by the actions of adults, which is no different than what the Black parents was doing when it came to R. Kelly. Now, I just got done preaching about this 20 minutes ago. I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying that adults need to be held responsible for this shit. All the adults involved need to be held responsible. Don't wait till your child get older and you only want to hold the network or the production people who had something that you wanted at the time. Your priority is to protect your child. And a lot of people put themselves in these risky ass situations because they think that the gain is going to be better than the hurt that their child is going to go through.
Girl, what's the name of that book?
I'm Glad My Mom's Dead.
That's
the name of the book. Yeah, her mama died from cancer.
Put it on Audible, bitch. This is added, okay?
Yep.
She I'm gonna have to check out that Red Table Talk she just did.
Yep, she did that too.
Because whenever Willow be like, "Oh my God, that's crazy."
I know. I be catching myself sound like her sometimes when us three be talking. I be like, yes, ooh, yes. Oh, it's called I Am Glad My Mom Died. Okay.
Yeah, no, I just got it on Audible. Bitch, I'm about to listen to this when I get in the shower. Okay.
Yup.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a lot. So yeah, check out the Red Table Talk. People, protect your children. Shit, don't be trying to sell your children for this type of shit. Honestly, because your ass can be charged too. Should be charged.
Okay. Child endangerment.
Yeah. But all right, y'all. We want to thank y'all for coming out tonight, watching the show. We tried a different time today. We started earlier today at 7 p.m. Central Standard. So if y'all want to stay ready, so you're going to have to get ready, be sure to follow us at Ooh Ladies First, Bondi Blue, Jamie, that's me. You can follow me at Necey Dixon, and be sure to turn on your notification bells, y'all. With that being said, we hope y'all have a good night, and we will see y'all in the next video. Bye.